It's a fucking problem.
Yeah. And I always pick up on those things. Far out situation here. Spectre other than Don and Candace that we know about?
Hold on, guys. I gotta fix it. I'm gonna have to take the video off.
No, not that I know of. I mean, I didn't really watch the guy. I kind of stopped watching him whenever he cozied up to Doug. I stopped watching him even more whenever it's a fucking problem.
Yeah. And I always pick up on those things. Far out situation here. Spectre other than Don and Candace that we know about?
No, not that I know of. I mean, I didn't really watch the guy. I kind of stopped watching him whenever he cozied up to Doug. I stopped watching him even more whenever Chris McDonough became his internet daddy. And, you know, it's just that, no, I don't know. I don't know his stance. I do know he won't talk about Jody Sue, which is problematic to me anyway.
In which way for you?
Because you see what she's doing and you're not calling it out. You can clearly see that she herself is here for the wrong reasons, which anything other than Summer is the wrong reason. If you want to be a domestic violence awareness channel, find that community and stay there. If you have nothing to contribute to the case of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells, then shut up and get out of this community. But they won't call it out. Him and Chris, why not? Why not? Why won't they call out Jody Sue's fuckery? Why fucking not? You want to call Andy and interrogate him, but you won't call out Jody Sue? That's a problem with me. It's a fucking problem.
Yeah. And I always pick up on those things. I told you earlier, I always, you know, I'm quick to see the connections. Then I'm also quick to see connections. You know, it's like, okay, so if Jody's ragged on every other YouTuber, you know, if she's not ragging on particular mainstream YouTubers, you got to kind of cock your head like a little, you know, puppy dog and look at it and be like, why is that way? Hold on, let me look at that real quick. Like, you know, what's really going on?
Well, I'll tell you what. I feel like maybe Chris doesn't feel like he can both call out Jody Sue and be an advocate for victims of Dawn's, right? That he might feel that he was hypocritical. But let me tell you something else. Chris McDonough does not have integrity. And I know that personally. He has had ample opportunity, time after time, situation after situation, to right wrongs, admit faults, and he blases over all of it.
So
why?
You know what? And I want to paint what or illustrate rather, what I feel like is not so much a subtle difference, but it's, you know, you can, for the most part, kind of expect, and this is my opinion, and in the dealings I've had and people around me, you can have a situation with a police officer, and it's going to kind of be cut and dry for the most part. But once you start dealing with detectives and things, that's where you start to really get into the chess, right? Once you got a detective on the line, you're not really playing checkers. You play checkers with street cops, but the detectives, you're playing chess. It's a finesse game, and I feel like also with the detective aspect, as we all know, if you've been a web sleuth very long, that detectives can promise you the world and they can lie right to your face if you're in that suspect pool. So I think, and I'm not giving credence to it because the man is not a cop anymore. So you should behave like the rest of us are, expected and standardized to behave. It's that he can behave less than because he's a cop or a detective rather. And I get it, right? You see a long history of a particular type of behavior that has to do with, I guess, what you would deem, job place deceit. It's not like he's in the office with his buddies lying. Like the guy is on the camera administering his art or his craft that he performs, and lying about certain portions of it. So it's problematic. And I guess what's ultimately equally as problematic, or maybe more, are the people that won't question certain types of behavior that's atypical, especially when we're all expected to behave a certain way. And then when you have, who watches the watcher? I guess that's the question.
I'm gonna grab the link from YouTube on my phone and put it in the chat. Just a sec. And then once we get somebody in there, then we'll start going in the chat. Okay. Share, copy link. There we go. All right. So I just shared the link on a different server, and then I'll share it in that one. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming on and giving us insight on the area. This is Scott. You may have heard him on Web Sleuths, and Tiffany Marie had him as a guest, and Jewels of Thought. I have watched her channel. I actually, who sent us over there? I think AB sent us over there one time. That's how I learned about her. But so you live in the area, and on other shows, you've given a little bit of insight to how things work over there and stuff like that. And I guess probably the big question I have right now is, I guess two of them. I have one question of, Dawn mentioned that there isn't a lot of businesses over there that want you to hang missing kid posters in their window. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I actually don't know. I've heard that a lot as well from people, and I don't really know why. I've heard a couple of people say that they could, if they talk to the corporate office, but how many people are going to do that? I don't know if there's somehow a liability issue, or if, for instance, they hang one sign, then somebody else may want to hang a garage sale sign, so they just make a policy of no signs whatsoever, even though it's an Amber Alert missing child. I guess they just have to kind of set their guidelines and then follow it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would assume that there would at least be something you know, a missing child kind of takes precedence over missing dog or yard sale or, you know, something like that. You would think there would be like posters at the park, on light posts, in the post office, you know, on people's windshields on their car. And everything that I've heard is just the complete opposite. And I know somebody did share pictures that Candace and the boys and grandma was out in town doing flyers. But even still, even with the ones that they did, I think they were taken down. Like, what? I just don't feel like that there's any, and I'm not there, you are, so you can tell me, there's community support rallying behind Dawn and Candace. We see the people at the prayer vigils, and I notice they're not the neighbors, they're not family, they're not their church members. These people are from a different religion, even
Correct.
a theater. Like, you know, I think it's called Lamplight Theater. But that's not even, they don't know them, you know, and you know,
Well, there's a theory that's floating. There's a theory that's floating, and I don't know. I've talked to a couple of people that were more involved in the Evelyn Boswell case, and now I don't know this to be true. This is just a theory that I've heard, and you know, that could be plausible. Originally, when they arrested Megan, they got her on charges of making false statements or something. And then as the investigation continued, you know, they were able to add charges. One theory that I've heard that, you know, may be a possibility is there's not a big rush to go out and hang a bunch of flyers because there's not a need to, because the investigative team, the TBI, the FBI, the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, already have enough information to where it's not necessary to hang flyers. They already know what happened. And, you know, maybe they're just crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And, you know, that's what we can all hope for, is, you know, to get a justice for Summer.
Yeah. You know,
and, you know, in a way that makes sense. You know, if they already know, then why create a bunch of hubbub? And it's just like, you know, making out earlier, you know, a month ago when I was on the other content creators, Tiffany Marie, Jules of Thought, and Web Sleuths. You know, this was much earlier on. You know, this was, you know, 30 days in, and now we're, you know, looking at 70 days. And, you know, back then we were kind of looking at things a little bit differently. It wasn't real new, but it was still kind of new. But now, you know, we're over the 2-month mark, and one would think that, you know, that they've got the electronic data back, and they've verified, you know, on foot. They've interviewed co-workers, bosses. I'm sure they interviewed everybody at the church, all the surrounding neighbors. There's probably, you know, a timeline that's been set up. Some things apparently don't match up on that timeline.
Yeah, I was listening to that. What do you think? Okay, so you know how you felt, and I guess the general consensus or the feeling was in the area. Would you say that it's changed any as far as like what everybody else in the area feels? Because everybody is, you know, you guys are there, and there's probably, I would assume, like a dark cloud hanging over the area, and maybe even a hush, you know, nobody's talking type of thing. Do you think that that's changed?
There's more people getting interested in it, because I do know that there's people that, you know, work, their coworkers, you know, it'll come up in conversation at work, and then the coworker will become interested in it, and then just see, you know, number one, just how captivating of a child, summer is. And then you start getting all the different layers and all the different facets of this investigation that are just, so bizarre to so many people. And that's what I kind of did early on, was try to provide a perspective, because as I was watching YouTube and looking at the chats and the comment sections and the content creators, I would see, and it's not their fault. I appreciate every content creator out there. Whether you like them or not, I'm not here to bash any creator. I appreciate any of them putting information out if it helps find summer. But I noticed that there's a lot of people that you could tell they just don't understand this area. They don't understand the geography. They don't understand a small town. Most people, the city that they live in, just the city has a higher population than the entire county of Hawkins County.
Yeah.
And what that means as far as, tax revenue, you have fewer people that are spending money shopping at the stores and going to the gas station and the grocery store to get tax revenue, which funds the county, like the sheriff's department, the fire department, the rescue squad, all the people that would be involved in the search for a child. So you have all these different things that a lot of people just don't understand. It's not like a huge city where your police force, might have 150 officers. We're nowhere close to that. Nowhere close to that. The number of cars, the police cars. You heard early on when EquiSearch was down, they were having problem with communications. And even at that time, the rescue squad was talking about how their equipment is old anyway. And then trying to, transmit. And then again, it's the geography. And I can pull up here. I've got on full screen here, and I just put easy directions in, because this is the area we're focusing on, Beach Creek Road to Ben Hill Road. And I'll pull that up and kind of show what we're dealing with, maybe, if we can do that.
Okay. You can also, there should be an option to make it like a satellite view. I know when you do the
Right.
satellite view, you can see all the terrain and how thick it is.
I was going to swap over to that once I get my directions here. Okay, what we're looking at here, this is just basically, it's a state highway. It's either 347 or 2463 or Beach Creek Road. And all that's set up due to 911, when they came in with 911 and all that stuff, I believe, is when they changed it. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to expand my map back out. And instead of Ben Hill Road, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change, and I'm doing this for a reason here, to show, hopefully a lot of people will understand the area a little bit more. So I'm going to go to Grassy Creek Road in Rogersville, Tennessee. And it's going to draw a map there. In the center right here, so you have Beach Creek Road coming up through here. There's the Mount Carmel Baptist Church, and up here's Dykes Mill, and Ben Hill Road is right around in here somewhere. This right here is the spine of a mountain. So you have a holler on this side and a holler on that side of the mountain. So even though from here to there, you have to go all the way around the mountain, 10 miles, to get around the mountain, instead of just going directly across the mountain.
Right.
because it's not cost effective to blast through the mountain to connect the areas. But what that does in turn is you have a big mountain between cell phone signals.
Oh,
And
okay. I see.
right here is another spine of a mountain.
Okay.
So that's what hollers are. Hollers are when you run between two mountains, and like the two mountains would be running parallel to each other, and then they start merging in together. And they end up touching and the road ends. And you can see that if we go back to Ben Hill Road.
Thank you for explaining that. I honestly had absolutely no idea what a holler was or why they were called hollers. I kind of felt like that was like slang. I was like, I don't know what that is, but thank you.
Okay, so here we turn off of Beach Creek Road down here. Here's Beach Creek Road. We're coming up, and we make a right-hand turn onto Ben Hill Road. And then right up here, that is the Wells driveway. Now, if you look at Ben Hill Road, it comes down here, and we'll blow it up here. Ben Hill Road ends. That's the end of a holler.
Okay, I have a question. Do you remember when Candace said that she drove as far down into the holler as she could go to look for Summer that day?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think, if you can point out, how far do you think she drove either which way?
Let's see if I can put a pin there. I'm not real tech savvy, so.
Because I have seen when you go into the satellite view, you can see that, yes, the road ends, but there's still, it continues on. It continues deep. So even though the road says dead end, it's not a dead end for quite a ways. Very far.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand about the country, Southern Appalachia, I'll say, because Western North Carolina is the same way, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Kentucky. It's all the same mountain range. So people live, and you heard, EquiSearch talking about their searches and stuff. This land isn't natural or national forest land. This is all private property. So somebody lives at the back of that holler.
Okay.
Most of the time, all along that road, if you stroll around on Google Maps, you're going to see places like Barrett Hollow, Light Hollow. Those are all the families that were down there that have been there for generations. So most of the family members live like Light Hollow Road. You have all the little branches off of Light Hollow Road, and that's where people have give their kids land and stuff. Well, each one of those roads dead ends, but you're correct when you say they keep going, because they're either tractor trails, four-wheeler trails, dirt bike trails, Jeep trails that go on back into the mountain. And I describe it as deep dark back in the holler. Sheds and buildings and shacks that only God could see is the way that I describe it, because, like you said, we can go right here and we can do a satellite view, and you can start to see how dense that is.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but how far do you
think have all that canopy right there
would go? She said she drove as deep into the holler as she could go, and it's like, why? If she hadn't been gone for very long, well, how far do you think she could get?
I'm figuring that right here is as far as she went. Now, like you said, the road continues on back into the mountain.
Yeah.
but I'm figuring she probably stopped right there. That's assuming that she drove down there. Allegedly she did, but we don't have any evidence to back that.
Yeah, all we have is what they say, and what they say is other than reliable. So
if you look at, like right here, I'll pull it into the center, like right here, more than likely you can zoom in if it will let, but you can see there's a vehicle right there. There's vehicles. That's probably an old shack or a shed or something. But you can see how dense that is.
yeah.
But it just keeps going under through the trees. And some of those shacks are back there. You know, the teenage kids use them to go back there and smoke cigarettes and drink beer and get high and make meth. And some people sleep in them, and some people use them as hunting cabins. You know, when it's deer season, and really, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what season it is. If they want something to eat, they just shoot it. It's all private property, and you know, that's just kind of the way that it works down there. So at the end of all little roads, there are hundreds of sheds and shacks and makeshift shelters that are just littered throughout the mountain.
And because that's private property, do you think that they were thoroughly searched by either EquiSearch or any other search parties?
Now that I don't know. You know, I'll look at what Dave Rader says from EquiSearch and what Tim Coop was saying from the Churchill Rescue Squad, and they feel like that they searched the areas that they needed to search as well as they could be searched.
So
They
Post-it note 3 just said, Chris M. on Web Sleuth said 5 more women came forward saying Dawn essayed them. Well,
I've just got a message from that before we went live.
That's good that they've come forward, but that is so sad.
I'm going to swing over here just a little bit. We're going to go a little bit east here. And right here's where I was telling you about. Right here's Light Holler Road.
Now Light. Where have we heard that name Light before? I've heard that name.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I don't know. It depends on how far you want to go tonight.
Maybe another
see,
30
this
minutes.
road dead ends right here. And then look at all this property right here. All those structures and sheds. There's probably a homestead there. That road right there comes down to a dead end. So there is probably, and those are just the maintained roads. Those roads, a lot of times, they will go into just like a tar and asphalt road, into a gravel road, straight into a dirt road where there's grass growing up between your tire tracks.
Post-it note has a question, said, on these searches, would they have had to get the owner's permission?
Yes, absolutely, or they'd be trespassing. But here's the thing about that. If there is a crime scene, and that's one thing that I've wondered, because when Chris McDonough from the interview room went up to Candace's home, I didn't see any crime scene tape. I didn't see any crime scene tape at the swimming hole down at Warriors Pass State Park. I haven't seen any crime scene tape taped off as a active crime scene. If it's an active crime scene, basically you no longer own your house because the police have a right to come in. I had a house burned down in another area down below Jonesboro where Don Wells was working. And of course I was upset when I got the call at work that my house was on fire. And I rushed down there, and they wouldn't let me, the fire department wouldn't let me in. And they were like, you can't go over there. And I was like, this is my house. And they was like, if your house is burning, it's the fire department's house until we put it out. Yeah, so, yeah, a crime scene, if it's a crime scene, that's why all these jokers that are on there that were down at the volunteer racetrack picking up hair and zip ties and duct tape. First of all, that's contamination of a crime scene.
Why would you pick it up?
They're not licensed to investigate a crime scene. Third, you're just not going to pull up to your friendly corner forensics laboratory and have them start doing DNA tests. The TBI and the FBI are going to laugh at those guys. And if you've ever been to Volunteer Raceway on race night, there's dust flying, dirt flying, people dropping their soda cans, their soda cups, their cigarette butts. There's garbage all over the place. Anybody that's ever had a race car knows every toolbox in the world has a roll or two of duct tape in it and a bag or two of zip ties, because you hold up iron harnesses with it and all kinds of stuff. So the stuff and the kids that come with their parents that like to watch cars go fast, they drop their little toys and their Matchbox cars and stuff. I mean, that was just ridiculous.
You know, it would be different if that kind of stuff was found at the Wells property, but it was in a high traffic area. Like, why would you assume that it's just?
No, this was the back of a parking lot of the raceway. It would be like where overflow parking would be, or the farthest parking spot. You know, if you go to Walmart, you know, and you can't find a close place, and you finally say, "The heck with it, I'm just going to park back here and walk. It'll be easier to get out when the race is over."
Yeah.
But I mean, that, you know, to me, that's just, you know, people taking advantage of the opportunity to make a dime off of the back of a beautiful, innocent little child.
Yeah.
And that's what that is to me.
And I feel like the self-interest goes so deep that they probably almost don't even want it to be solved, because then you will run out of things to talk about. Or maybe they'll just go on to the next, you know, poor kid that something has happened to. I don't know. It's crazy to me, the people, the nut jobs that have come out of the woodworks on this case alone, but really it happens all the time.
It does. It's ridiculous. Here's an example. Let me show you here right quick, and then we'll get off of this subject if you want to go to another one. Here's Light Hollow Road. Here's Orville Light Road. Here's Grady Light Road. So you see how all that is? That's all family members that are living back in here. There's some property. You go on up, there's another driveway, there's some property. There's a guy all the way at the end of the holler right there. Come down here. There's some guys all the way down at the holler right here. Then you have this road that just dead ends into the holler. You move it up. You've got people right here, people right here, and all these people are related.
So would it be common for, like you said, all of those people are related, and it seems like with every holler there's different families. Is it common that they intermingle and like visit with each other, or do they all kind of stay to themselves?
Well, they intermingle to an extent. I'm pulling back a little bit now, and you can see all the ridges. All those are ridges there. And every time you see two mountains run together like that, there's a holler. And then there's a holler. That's why you have to drive around the mountain to get to the other side of it. So if you're trying to call somebody from here, you've got all this interference in the way. And that whole entire area is mountainous. and dense like that. Now, here's the demographics of Beach Creek for the most part. I showed you right there Light Holler.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not going to do it on here because it'll take up, way too much time, for me to zoom into each little holler. But right here, there you've got Grassy Creek Road. On the other side of the mountain, you've got Beach Creek Road. Then you've got Blair's Gap that comes across north to south that way. Then you've got Light Hollow over there. Up to the north, you have right here is Barrett Hollow. Now what happens is, and I'm not meaning this in a demeaning way, and I'm not passing judgment on people, but there are people down there that have children at 13, 14 years old, 15 years old. They're having babies and they don't even have their driver's license yet.
Makes you wonder
Let's
if
say
some of
you
these
have this
people
family right
even
here.
have a birth certificate.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that know their great-great-grandparents because the generations are like 15 years apart. So you have the baby that's 1 day old, the mom that's 15 years old, the grandmother that's 30 years old, the great-grandmother that's 45 years old, the great-great-grandmother that's 60 years old, the great-great-grandmother is 75 years old.
That's wild.
So if you look here, and even if it were 20 years, so if you look here at Barrett Hall, now remember these people don't drive. They're not old enough to have a car yet. So they're getting around on motorbikes or bicycles or walking. Let's say a little boy here in Barrett Holler gets the sweets for a little girl over here in Light Holler. So he rides his bike over there, and then somewhere in these mountains right here, they find one of them little shacks and they want to go do what teenagers do. And then they end up pregnant. Well,
Okay,
now
I have a question. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I do have a question because you said some of these kids are pregnant by 13. And I would have to assume that most of the people who are impregnating these children are not always necessarily same age group children. So,
well, I don't know that. I'm sure that you could probably allege that and be correct.
okay.
But so you have a little boy over here in Barrett Hollow at this house. And let's say this house has 5 boys. The Wells, they had 3 boys and a little girl. So one of the boys goes over here and he gets the sweets for a girl in Light Holler. Another boy goes down here and gets the sweets for somebody in Grassy Creek. Another one goes up here and gets one on Blair's Gap. So now, when everybody has their babies, you've got people that are kin from Light Holler, Barrett Holler, Blair's Gap, and Beach Creek that have all got grandma and grandpa over here. So now you have people, sons and daughters and grandkids and cousins that are in every one of these hollers all around. Because they're just small little hollers where families have grown up and they've been there for generations. And they're so spread out. I was given an example. I live in Kingsport. Kingsport is 50 square miles. We have a population of 56,000 people, 53,000 people. Hawkins County is 500 square miles and has a population of 56,000, 3,000 more in the entire county. So these people are spread out. And you can see, like on Chris McDonough's videos, when he's driving down through there, it's just fields and fields and fields and mountains and mountains and mountains. So what happens is you end up with first, second, third cousins, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers. And then they decide they're going to all start breaking up and start dating each other's exes. And then you have more kids. And now everybody has in-laws and kids and cousins all over the whole entire place. And what does family do? Family covers for family. Look at what Don Sr. did for his son. When Jeannie stood up, what happened?
They brushed it
The
in.
threat of divorce, getting kicked out with no place to live, and just swept it right under the rug.
Mm.
Now, like I said, I went to high school with these people, and I used to run around down there myself, in my younger days, and I know how it works. It was that way when my dad's 78 years old. It was that way when he was a kid. I'm 51. It was that way when I was a kid. When I was on Tiffany Marie's channel, I'm not going to say her name, but another young lady came up on the panel, and she said that within the first 2 minutes that I reminded her of her dad, and then I said my age, that I was 51, and she was like, well, he's practically my dad's age. So there's a girl, let's say, I don't know how old the young lady was, let's say she was 25. And she is saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. So we have my dad at 78, me at 51, and her at 25. That's a long period of time with a whole lot of different eyes of people that aren't related to each other, looking at the same area and coming up with the exact same conclusions. Because as I said, if you zoom on out beyond Beach Creek, you have little towns like Rogersville, Churchill, Allendale, Netherland Inn, West Kingsport. You have all the little towns outside of that. And then you have little towns on outside beyond that. So that's just kind of how it is around here. We don't have a big city until Knoxville. And I think Knoxville, I looked, has 186,000 people in it. And Kingsport, like I said, had 53,000, I think. The only reason Bristol is so big is because half of Bristol is in Tennessee and half of Bristol is in Virginia. So all of the areas around here are very small. And, the little town that I live in, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, our population is 4,500. So we're 300 people smaller than what Rogersville is.
My headphones died, so I'm going to be talking through the computer.
Oh, okay.
But it was so funny because as soon as my dogs heard your voice, oh man,
right.
They freaked out. They were sleeping, and then they heard a stranger's voice, and oh man, scared me. So I guess next time,
I get a lot of, here's some other questions that I get, maybe we'll answer some questions, is people ask me about law enforcement. How do I feel about law enforcement? Well, I kind of showed you how the areas work. So let's say the people get up to the age of 16 or 17 and they get a driver's license. Well, now they can come out of the holler and go to Rogersville and Mount Carmel and Churchill and Allendale and Netherland Inn, to all the surrounding little towns. And then they start marrying and having families and things like that. Well, as you can look at the maps here, there's not a whole lot of stuff in Hawkins County, Tennessee. I mean, including people, there's 500 square miles and, you know, a little over 55,000 people. So even going outside of these hollers into the bigger little towns, you still kind of have that same dynamic of people marrying and having children. Now the people in the towns have got kinfolk back in the hollers. So does the brother-in-law arrest the first cousin and have an awkward Thanksgiving and make his nephews and nieces mad? Does a brother arrest a brother? You know, I don't know. I would like to think that the Hawkins County Police Department, because I know the majority of Northeast Tennessee are filled with people with a lot of integrity, and, you know, that they go by the, you know, our word is our trust, you know, kind of thing. And so I would like to think, you know, that the majority of the people that were searching, you know, on the rescue squad and the fire department and the sheriff's department are good people. But then there was an article, you know, 2 or 3 weeks ago where a constable was arrested because as he was conducting traffic stops, he was keeping the drugs that he would confiscate off the people at the traffic stops.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw an article about that. That's interesting.
But then he was doing a good thing because he was training drug sniffing dogs with the drugs that he confiscated. So he broke the law to do a good thing. And then apparently there were people that had a little bit better of a moral compass, caught on to what he was doing and arrested him. So that shows that there's good people down there. But I guess everybody, you know, it's good is on a relative scale. You know, what I consider good, you may not consider good. It's like being happy.
Right.
I can say, are you happy? And you...
We're 46 minutes in. Let me give a tiny bit of commentary here. You see me in the chat. I absolutely cannot stand Scott. Scott worked with the PIs. I'm going to bring some of his shit out. That's where this started. As you see, Scott was involved in 3 channels prior to making his channel with Penny. Him and Penny brought this together. Listen to how disgusting he talks about the people where he's from. Scott has always been a disgusting pervert. This kind of commentary should have never went on about a missing child. It has nothing to do with Summer's picture, her face, any of it. As the years went on, Scott started bringing out, well, I'm related to Fred Hill. I'm related to Annie Saranac. He kept it all underground, but he came out here telling you about this holler and what they do in the hollers if he's there every day. He talks a lot about Grassy Creek and the other side of the mountain where he just pointed out one other holler. There's many hollers in that area, but he points out one in particular, and I'm going to say that's the one he grew up in my opinion. He just told you that that he lives in 3 different areas. Well, Jonesboro, no, his house burned down, but he's from Kingsport. No, he's not going to tell you what small town he's from. Jonesboro is where Chase is from, and it's a small town. It's not a super huge place. I'm sure everybody knows everybody. Scott, in my opinion, is describing his own fucking family. I don't know, there's something wrong with this dude, and I'd like him to put every ounce of his fucking content back up. It's weird. You took it all down. If what you're saying is truth, and you're in no trouble.
say, yeah, and you ask me if I'm happy, and I say, yeah, but are we really the same degree of happiness? So if you look at, you know, how trustworthy is one versus the other, or this family versus that family.
Yeah.
And those are things, you know, that I think need to be taken into account. You know, we're talking about a 5-year-old baby girl that just vanished. Quote, got
And nobody's talking.
no crime scene roped off, nowhere, no crime tape, nothing. Now, the sheriff does say everything is on the table, but he also hasn't ruled anybody out. So that means, you know, we have the due process in the United States. You know, you're innocent until proven guilty. But we don't even have so much as a crime scene. So that makes me wonder, you know, are we waiting on electronic records? Is that how we're going to solve this case? Have they already found Summer and scooped her up somewhere, and she's in state custody right now, clean and with a, you know, a good full belly from a normal home cooked meal,
That would be
sleeping in a clean bed on a soft mattress? Could that be the case? You know, we don't know.
Yeah.
I like to lean that way, or in some sort of way, because a lot of people ask my theory because I'm from the area. Well, I know it's on day 70, and I know what the statistics are,
Yeah.
but no one has shown me any evidence to show me otherwise that she's not alive. Just like the people that think that she's passed on, they're doing the same thing that I am. They're just thinking about it in a different way because they don't have any evidence to support their theory.
Right. There's no proof of life, no proof of death. So
And I think we all need to, as a community, you know, we need to accept that everybody should be able to have a theory and be able to talk about it openly because, you know, child trafficking is a problem in Northeast Tennessee. Drug addiction, mental health issues, homelessness, poverty. We got a lot of stuff going on, you know, when you get into the other things, domestic violence, sexual abuse. All that stuff happens, and it's very, very ugly. And it hits tender spots with a lot of people. But that's the stuff that needs to be talked about openly by adults, not by people that are chronologically over the age of 18 but act like they're 12. You know, when you're 18, they'll give you a gun and you go shoot and die for your country. And used to, you could buy alcohol and cigarettes, and still yet you can buy some guns at 18. You can buy shotguns and rifles at 18 years old.
yeah.
So if you can do all that, why can't we have a civil conversation about a missing 5-year-old baby girl? You know, we can go on about a lot of things. Why can't we have civil conversations about a lot of things in this country? But we're working on right now Summer Wells.
Yeah, as you pointed out earlier, whenever I was talking to you, in the end, I think probably you and I have different ideas of the outcome, but we talk about it. And not once have you ever said, you know, well, you're an idiot for thinking that. Never have you done that to me. And I've never done that to you. And you are a wealth of knowledge for the local area and for a lot of other things too, I'll say. And I think
Well, I know, there's
we're probably gonna
certain
delve
channels.
into that.
Everybody has their certain channels and their certain, their favorite creators, and that's free. It's like the old saying goes, if you don't like what you're watching, turn the damn channel. Turn it off.
Right.
If you're going to sit there and let something make you so mad that you're making yourself pace the floor and toss and turn in the floor, you need to take a real hard look at how you're managing your emotions as an adult human being.
Right. There are a couple of channels I think we agree on that we just prefer not to watch. We don't agree. We don't agree with what they're doing. We don't agree with how they're going about it. We don't agree with their opinions. And we just don't watch them. Simple as that.
But I'm not going to bash somebody if they choose to watch that.
Right.
Just because they have a different opinion, or, whatever is guiding them in their opinion, they must feel pretty strongly about it, just like I feel strongly about mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to, and that's what was so great about Jules of Thought and Tiffany Marie's channel and Trisha and Amy at Web Sleuths, is because it was the same way over there. Everybody in the chat was respectful, just like you. The host was respectful. On some of those panels, there were other guests that were far more qualified in any of this than I am. They were respectful. So I know, I've experienced it. You can have respectful conversations with people about the same subject and have different views on it. I've done it. I know it can happen, and that's what I want to, hopefully bring to this channel, is answer some questions, and let's look at things and let's talk. And, of course, that we have a place that we can go to where we kind of don't have to do that, and we did that for a reason. I would like to talk about that, is, having a place to go to where you can talk about things, you can share things when it's the time to share things, you can share the amount of what you have when it's the appropriate time to share it, and not face criticism because you're not suiting somebody else's fancy. That's why we have our chat room, is so that we can flesh out some of this stuff that really, really needs to be talked about, and leave all the other people that are walking around the volunteer racetrack picking up zip ties, going to the corner forensics lab. Let those people stay somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, please stay somewhere else.
The internet is a huge place. They can find a home somewhere. They don't have to come into our home.
Yeah.
And that's why we set it up that way.
To also, at the same time, some of those people made it into our chat and then bashed us because we aren't part of those people going out and picking up zip ties.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Exactly.
Okay.
We invite you to our house, and then you tell us how we need to take care of washing the dishes and running the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. But
I do, being up in this area, and it's not that I'm any more special than anybody else. I just happen to live in an area where a young girl went missing.
Yeah.
And I've lived here my whole life, and I can give perspective on the area so that hopefully people, I've talked to people in Australia, in Canada, all over the world. There's people looking at this case in England, the UK, and some of them have never even been to the United States, much less to the state of Tennessee, much less to Northeast Tennessee, much less Rogersville, and definitely not Beach Creek.
I went on vacation to, I guess Pigeon Forge was the area, and this was 2019, and we stayed in a cabin up in the mountains, and I mean, it was so beautiful, and there was homes situated all throughout the mountains, and everybody was so friendly and so nice, and that's my impression of Tennessee. The other time that I've been to Tennessee, I was really young, and I went to Graceland and the Grand Ole Opry, and you know, my experiences in Tennessee are great, and you know, people just coming into letting this be their impression, that it's kind of sad, because that's just not it. It's not it. But you know what the world is seeing is just an area, an unfortunate area, but that's not Tennessee.
Right. But it has to be, people have to accept and realize and grasp that is part of Tennessee. It's not the whole of Tennessee, but it is a part of Tennessee.
Yeah, and you can't can't go in there blindly and just guess.
Right. Exactly.
You have to know, and that's the thing. So many people, even people who are in the United States, can't even wrap their minds around, you know, even me. What is a holler? What does that mean? You just explained it so greatly, and the intricacies of the area and the demographics and the I don't want to say customs, but I would not want to call that a custom that they're having babies that young, but it's just how it is, and we wouldn't know that. We would never know that.
Right. I have one of my best friends that I went to school with. His sister got pregnant at 14, and she's 3 years older than I am, and she has a grandchild the same age as my son.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, she very well could be a great grandmother soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
She had her first child at 14. Her first child had her first child when she was 16.
Mm.
So she was a grandmother at 30. And then, you know, that child, like I said, is, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time. But, you know, say what you will, whether it's right or wrong, you know, there again, you know, we look at things about, you know, the school systems, the education systems, the ability to learn, you know, all that stuff plays a factor. The socioeconomics of the area, you know, and we haven't even begun to get into the crime rates yet. And, you know, people can do that. I'll leave that, you know, for the people. I do a lot of research on things and just some of my hobbies and stuff like that. I'm sharing my full screen here. I mean, you can probably see if you can see the tabs up there, you know, I've got hobbies and stuff. And some of the things that I do, there's a term called due diligence. And that means in the stock market world, if you're trading stocks or options or futures or cryptocurrency or whatever, you do your due diligence on whichever company you're going to be trading on, and make your decision based upon whether you're going to buy or sell a given stock or cryptocurrency based upon the research that you've done on it. So, you know, to fly blind into an area like the Summer Wells case without having an understanding of the area, you're selling yourself short, I think. And that's my only reason of coming on panels, mainly is to hopefully provide perspective, and so that people can understand it, and then maybe it will make their theory become clearer, or maybe it may change their theory.
Sorry, I had my mute on. Yes, thank you, little Dab. Mwah. Thumbs up, guys. I don't think Vicky Dykes is selling babies like that, but it is weird that Fred mentions her in the way he did that we watched yesterday. But I think what Scott is explaining is truth, and it happens in the city. I have lived in the country. I have lived in Miami. I lived in Tionesta, Pennsylvania, which is just like Rogersville, even more rural. I have lived in Miami Beach. I have lived in Pittsburgh my whole life, always come back here, even weekends or whatever, you know. And I have lived most of my life as a child up until my adult years in a town called Glassport, which is extremely similar to their socioeconomics. It's a little town connected. It would be like the Churchill of Liberty Borough, Port View, Glassport, Lincoln, three little towns connected to a huge country area, which then connects to Elizabeth. And as soon as you leave Glassport, our haulers start. We got haulers, and we got haulers up above Glassport going into Liberty. It's nothing that small towns that are connected to things like this don't know about. I am also from Appalachia, and that mountain he talked about going around works just like here. So what I want to say to Scott is I think you're right when it comes to socioeconomics and how family ties and connections to the city and this and that, right? I also think the way you're speaking of your neighborhood, which honestly, Beach Creek is more closer to middle class. It's not exactly poverty ridden. But to answer Trial Junkie, no. You get a lot of addiction, parents that just don't give a shit about their kids. I don't think it's a baby mill. I mean, there's probably a lot of adoption and things of that nature, and grandmas and aunties raising the babies. But what Scott doesn't understand, maybe it's because he's never lived in the city, or maybe he has, I don't know, is that happens in the city as well, Scott. It's just more widespread because it's a bigger area with a bigger population. It doesn't just happen in the country. And anybody, or in the haulers, and anybody that knows anything about America could do any research. Actually, some of the biggest human trafficking happens in big cities like California, you know, like San Francisco or Los Angeles, or down in Miami, or on the border of Texas or Arizona. Like, you are a true fucking idiot to think that subscribers and subs and just the people watching you believe that you're the only human in the world that knows about how baby making goes. That's not true. And like I said in my chat, Mother Mary gave birth to Jesus Christ at the age of 13. Is it right? No. No. It's not right for young girls to have babies, but they do. And what you're doing is shaming a whole community of women. Many young girls grow up and raise their babies amazingly. You would be really fucking surprised. And I think you're a fucking douche. But anyways, I'm going to let you all continue. Thank you for hearing me rant.
You know, which could benefit them in, you know, another case, because, you know, we're going to have, we've already got, you know, little Michael Vaughn missing, and they're right into doing the pre-trial stuff of the Barry Morphew case, you know, so it's, unfortunately, whatever the outcome of Summer Wells is, there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe if we can take this experience, you know, the way I look at it is the next one, like, you know, wasn't Cash Gernon, wasn't he in Texas?
Yeah, I do think so.
I'm not 100% sure, so
I believe so.
if I'm wrong, everybody forgive me, but
That's the baby that was taken out of his bed, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
But, or any other case for that matter, you know, use any of them. I don't know a thing about Texas besides what I've seen on TV.
Yeah.
I've never been to Texas. I've never been to Texas.
And it's just like people who've never been to California, they all think Hollywood, you know?
Right. I mean, I wouldn't expect to jump right into another case that's in another state and another city and another town with people that I've never met in my entire life and expect to know what was going on instead until I first learned all of that stuff. And I find out, you know, what's the average income of the place? How many single mothers are living there? You know, what's the medium income? Do most people own their house or rent? You know, things like that, you know, learn the area.
Yeah.
And then you know what you're looking at. And then you can kind of start making some clear-headed speculations, I guess you could say, guesses on maybe a direction that things are headed.
Yeah. Well, I think we're past the time we said we would chat about this, but this is part one. I'm gonna line some questions up, and I'll let you look them over before we go live next time, and let me know if you're comfortable answering those questions or not, and then we'll go on again. And anytime that I'm on and doing all this stuff, I would always love if you joined me because you are there. So
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
I don't want to just go off and holler was. I had no idea that everybody in a holler was related. I had no idea that the people who live in these hollers intermingle with the other hollers. And then before you know it, all of them are related. It's wow. But, you know, thank you for shedding light on that. That was pretty enlightening for sure.
Well, thank you for the platform to do it. You know, like I said, I just want to help other people understand. We have enough in this case that's confusing enough.
Right.
And, you know, so.
Okay. Well, I hope you have a good night. I'll talk to you offline, and thank you everybody in chat who tuned in. Hopefully you've learned some things about the area that you didn't know before. And this is part one. We'll do a part two, and there'll be more questions. If you have questions specifically for him, you can email the channel's YouTube email, and that's True Crime Commentary 4. That's the number 4. YOU at gmail.com. And I'll definitely get those questions on my list, and we'll talk with him later on a different day, probably sometime later this week. I know Grandis is supposed to her interview is airing on Friday, so I definitely want to give all my attention to that. But yeah, I think Web Sleuths is live right now with Chris, so I think we're all probably going to head over there. Right.
That sounds like a good place to go to me.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, y'all.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I think we're live now. We decided to go ahead and start the live just because the things going on is just too exciting to just sit and wait. We're still going to be doing the interview with the neighbor, but we have on True Crime with Libby and What Big Eyes to talk about it all until.
I don't quite understand What Big Eyes. Apparently, this woman passed away. I'm not saying it's true, but we never seen an obituary or knew her real name. And she came here as a very staunch Jody Sue supporter, very supportive of Tiffany Marie, and very supportive of True Crime Commentary with Penny and Scott. Bless her and her family if she is really not alive anymore. But I would like to know more about this woman, since she was Penny and Jody and Tiffany Marie's go-to all the time.
The interview phone call comes through. So,
hello
everyone.
All right.
So I don't see the messages. Do I need?
Also, the interview with the neighbor. I've shown in the past, that's when Chase got arrested. The hoax call happened, and Fred was talking about Bill Benton, which I showed you all yesterday. No, I haven't, Lee Scottish Mom. She was a mod in Benny's chat for quite some time. She attacked me for a little bit when I brought some of the chicken fighting stuff out. I thought it was because she wanted to be the one to bring it out. I don't know why. We were researching together and lives together, and she's another one who just suddenly attacked me. She was very close to that As Above, So Below, Gary, Second to No One, all kinds of fucking chat names. She has 100 of them. For all I know, she could be in my chat now. Karen Elliott works like that as well. But I haven't heard from Valkyrie. I know the last time I really watched her sister was sick in another state, and I prayed for her. And yeah, I hope the best for her. I'd like to know where a lot of these YouTube creators went that just disappeared.
To be on a different tab to see the messages?
If you look to the right, there's a little button and it says chat.
Wow.
I don't know what it looks like for you, actually.
Okay. Oh. No, that's to chat with Restream. I don't want to talk to them. Let me put that away. So it says messages from audience will display here, but I don't see any. Oh, there they are. Now they're coming. That was like magic.
Yeah, and then if you see at the bottom, it'll see private chat, and that's if you guys want to say something not in the main chat, and then just amongst ourselves. So
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so where would I see that for the chat?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm no good at any of this, but
Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to go at this blind then.
Okay, so let's talk about starting from last night, because the rumor is that Dawn was picked up at 11. I cannot confirm that because, one, I wasn't there, and two, everybody who I talked to out there didn't see that happen. So that's not something that I would just put out there without, having somebody who I trust actually see it happen. But at the same time, something did definitely happen last night. So whenever I got the call, it was 1:03. And then my source got the call just before that. So the neighbor, Dawn's neighbor, called the source and told the source what was going on. And then they called me, and the source left, got out of bed, left, went over there, went to the neighbor's house, and said that there was a sheriff's deputy car there, and he could hear the stuff going on at the top of the hill. And at this point, the neighbor and the source were there together at her home. And this is the neighbor that we're going to be talking to later. I think I see.
So the source went to the neighbor's house?
Yes.
Are they dating?
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry. You know, I like to speculate.
That absolutely is not the case. She's 70. I believe is the number I was told, the age I was told, 70. Could be a little older. She has been, hold on, chat's going fast. I wish I knew how to pin comments.
Okay, my chat is not going fast. So
Well, I
does that
just
mean
seen
I don't
something
really see
from
it?
Tiffany. I want to read it.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, I'm just gonna look at my phone. Obviously, guys, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I have zero.
Oh, yes, you are.
No. Don B just said Don Wells picked up by the
Hey,
feds,
Meiko.
Gina Jennings says, we've been Tiffany. I've been out all day and apologize. I couldn't answer you. It's funny.
Tiffany said she's confirming it for 100.
I'm
Don't play
glad
with
that Dawn was arrested and extradited to Boston. Yes. See? Oh, yes. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
All right. Validation.
That is cause for celebration.
Yes.
That's why before we went on, I'll just let everybody know right now. My husband is, look, he's downstairs. He's got the kids. I am not to be bothered. I brought up 2 beers and I am sipping on one right now. I am celebrating because every time I think about it, I start getting tears in my eyes. Like, this is going on too long.
For real. For real. I feel, and I don't know why, and I said this before, and I think people think I'm bananagrams, but I just feel like summer is with us still in this realm.
That would be amazing.
Well, you know, that's what everybody wants to happen.
You know, with everything, I mean, just, okay, so whenever I think of it in terms like that, it's more like, no, she hasn't been found. There's been no proof. I'm with Scott H on this. Me and him don't agree on every bit of each other's theory, but we will both agree that there's no evidence that she's gone. There's also no evidence that she's here. And I think
Right?
I prefer to lean to she's here. But I don't know. I really hope that there is truth in what Don says whenever he said, I think that some well-to-do lady brought her over far away and she's living in a really nice place. Like, I really hope that he said that because there's truth to it, which I don't know.
Right. Well, he's been mentioning Mexico, and that's looking like a viable option.
Right.
It's weird, you guys. It's really, really weird.
So the whole cartel thing, right? And look, if you are in the cartel and you're listening to me, I don't know nothing about you, so don't come for me.
Yeah,
But-
we mean no harm. Peace be with you.
You know, carry on with your nefarious activities. But what I heard was that Don told the shares that he owed money to the cartel. I don't know if the shares reported this to TBI. It's possible that they're double agents. I don't know. But that he told that somebody heard him telling voices behind the wall that he owed money to the cartel and he thinks they took her. And I just didn't put much weight on it because it came out so soon.
Right.
And first of all, I knew about it before it came out. So I was like, why are they waiting to say this? Like, why are they leaking it now? And then I was like, well, maybe they're doing it as a smokescreen because the whole 3:30, 35 minutes missing thing came out. And I don't know, just maybe they were trying to distract from that. I don't know. Tiffany, if you're still here, you have a link in Discord if you wanted to join, by the way.
Didn't Don say that stuff about the cartel when he was on one of his little drinking binges?
I remember him saying that he ran drugs. Remember he said that to Chris, and he said, but that doesn't really work out whenever you're whatever, what do you call himself? A junkie? Do you call himself a druggie, junkie? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, he was talking about how bad a dope pusher he was or something. And so, you know, there's a little bit of truth in everything, you know.
Yes.
When people are trying to cover up, sometimes their mind makes them say some truth in there.
Yeah, and that's also easier. That's an easier way to get away with lying is when you intertwine it with a little bit of truth, because then your micro expressions aren't coming through as fully deceitful. And I just want to say this right now that the behavior panel was not correct in this case, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. Me too.
Sorry for laughing, but I find it funny.
Well, win a few, lose a few.
Wow. I was addressed. And what they told me was, because I was on a different YouTube profile, and they were like we're going to take anything you say seriously. Wow.
Okay.
This was a long time ago. This was the day that they dropped it. I sent.
You know what's really funny about that is Scott and Penny came with Chris McDonough. I agree the behavior panel wasn't the greatest, but Tim Mullen is the media manager, and he set that up as well as Dr. Phil. Chris McDonough was with Penny at this time, and I've shown you a million times, and we'll get there again. Penny was absolutely reaching out and playing games and sending Jody Sue's DV papers to Moselle, who was the handwriting specialist that came out on a very weird attack for somebody who's a professional and didn't know the whole history behind Jody Sue's medical problems, which I researched could affect handwriting. And it was a woman that works with the Cold Case Foundation with Chris McDonough. And Chris McDonough was interviewing her the next day after Penny had put out the handwriting analysis for her. Very strange, but yeah.
Them paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. And that's the response I got. Okay, somebody else needs to join because viewers is at 666 and join or drop off.
Lord, help us. That's not okay. Help us, Lord.
Yeah, we need that to change.
Let's do 777.
Yeah, let's do that. It was
Yes,
at 8
please.
a minute ago. I don't know. Let's see. Is Tiffany still here? Tiffany, are you gonna join for a little bit or no? 694. There we go.
I see so many lovelies in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we got a BS detector in here. I mean, I've been looking for one of those.
423 Chase is in the chat. He says,
Yay.
why did shares lie today when we're out here 12 hours a day busting our asses trying to find this child? We don't need lies. Maybe they'll answer my next video for them. Please pray for Summer. Yes. Let's just put that in the universe right now that they're going to have a come to Jesus moment with the YouTube community because it's sick.
They're scheduled to do a live tonight.
Oh, let me guess what.
Uh-oh. Where did you go?
Is she, what did she drop out on us?
I don't know. And for a second, it was quiet. So I was like, wait, did I go somewhere?
Oh.
True. Where are you? I don't know her name.
Up my...
Oh, there you are. No?
I call her TCC.
Okay. Yes, Jen. See, this is Libby. How are you doing? Hey, Maito. Hey, Smokey. You know who you are. Oh, goodness. Yes, Robin. We do love you, Summer Wells.
Yes, we do. Oh, she's got. Well, how is that?
I don't know. How are we fine on here? Aren't we somehow? That's weird.
That's
okay.
Weird.
TCC is having Wi-Fi issues, everyone. So we're gonna have to keep you entertained here. Do you have any jokes? Yes. Just kidding. Run the show for a while.
Run the show for a while.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to speed it up a little because they're really slow going, all slow talkers. I'm going to bet we can hear them, but because I sped it up, I might have to go back a little. It's okay. It's always good to re-listen. I might have skipped a little, but you all get the point. No, I was before an hour. Let's go. Let's say it was like right here.
If you are in the cartel and you're listening to me, I don't know nothing about you, so don't come for me.
Yeah, but we need no harm.
You know, carry on with your nefarious activities. But what I heard was that Don told the shares that he owed money to the cartel. I don't know if the shares reported this to TBI. It's possible that they're double agents. I don't know. But that he told somebody heard him telling voices behind the wall that he owed money to the cartel and he thinks they took her. And I just didn't put much weight on it because it came out so soon. Right. First of all, I knew about it before it came out. So I was like, why are they waiting to say this? Like, why are they leaking it now? And then I was like, well, maybe they're doing it as a smokescreen because the whole 3:30, 35 minutes missing thing.
So she's in contact with Cher because she knew about it before it came out, that Cher had gotten these text messages. So why did they wait so long to bring it out? Why did they wait so long to bring that out? Penny, did you know we can bring you hope?
Came out, and I don't know, just maybe they were trying to distract from that. I don't know. Tiffany, if you're still here, you have a link in Discord if you wanted to join, by the way.
Didn't Don say that stuff about the cartel when he was on one of his little drinking benches?
I remember him saying that he ran drugs. Remember he said that to Chris, and he said, but that doesn't really work out whenever you're what do you call himself, a junkie? He calls it a druggie, junkie. I don't know. Right.
Yeah, he was talking about how bad a dope pusher he was or something. And so, there's a little bit of truth in everything,
Yes.
when people are trying to cover up, sometimes their mind makes them say some truth in there.
Yeah, and that's also easier. That's an easier way to get away with lying is when you intertwine it with a little bit of truth, because then your micro expressions aren't coming through as fully deceitful. And I just want to say this right now that the behavior panel was not correct in this case, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. Me too.
Sorry for laughing, but I find it funny.
Well, win a few, lose a few.
Well, I was addressed, and what they told me was, because I was on a different YouTube profile, and they were like, we're gonna take anything you say seriously. Wow.
Okay.
This was a long time ago. This was the day that they dropped it. I sent them paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, and that's the response I got. Okay, somebody else needs to join because viewers is at 666, and join your
Oh Lord, help us! That's not okay. Help us, Lord.
Yeah, we need that to change.
Let's do 777.
Yeah, let's do that. It was
Yes,
at 8
please.
a minute ago. I don't know. Let's see. Is Tiffany still here? Tiffany, are you gonna join for a little bit or no? 694. There we go.
I see so many lovelies in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we got a BS detector in here. I mean, I've been looking for one of those.
423 Chase is in the chat. He says,
Yay.
why did sheriffs lie today when we're out here 12 hours a day busting our asses trying to find the child? We don't need lies. Maybe they'll answer my next video for them. Please pray for Summer. Yes. Let's just put that in the universe right now that they're going to have a come to Jesus moment with the YouTube community because it's sick.
They're scheduled to do a live tonight.
Oh, let me guess what.
Uh-oh. Where did you go?
What did she drop out on us?
I don't know. For a second, it was quiet. So I was like, wait, did I go somewhere?
Oh.
True. Where are you? I don't know.
I opened up my.
Oh, there you are. No.
I call her TCC.
Okay. Yes, Jen. See, this is Libby. How are you doing? Hey, mate. So, hey, Smokey. You know who you are. Oh, goodness. Yes, Robin. We do love you, Summer Wells.
Yes, we do. Oh, she's got. Well, how is that?
I don't know. How are we fine on here? Aren't we somehow? That's weird. Okay.
Weird.
TCC is having Wi-Fi issues, everyone. So we're gonna have to keep you entertained here. Do you have any jokes? Yes. Just kidding. Run the show for a while.
Run the show for a while.
I mean,
okay,
I know,
well,
maybe it's of poor taste, but I feel like we can joke now because we're headed somewhere, guys. We're headed somewhere here. We're gonna find something out.
So depressing, and such a hopeless feeling. And now we have some hope of everything coming to light. You know.
Yes.
And there was she's showing my post I made today about the custody thing where Don Wells is, and so if anyone in the chat has any questions about that, I've got my other phone open here where I can see the chat now because I couldn't see it on this one. So,
well, I have a question for you because when I looked it up, because I looked too, and I saw it not in custody, I was like, okay, because it doesn't say yet. I wish it did. I wish it said yes, because then it would have been clear to me as a layperson because I don't know the language. Yeah. So how do you know?
Okay. Yeah. Let me explain it.
Okay.
I have a good friend who helps me with research, and she is friends with a U.S. Marshal. And what happens is when they pull somebody up like that and take them to one of those like Fort Devens, which has to do with child trafficking. It's also a medical facility, but it's not just a hospital facility. It's a, where they retain these people. Okay. Not in custody yet means that they're there, but they haven't been jailed. That means they're being interrogated.
Okay.
They can do that for up to 24 hours before they have to do something with him. But once they get there, they have to log him in, and that's why he has that number. Now, someone said something.
Hold on one second. Where did that go? There was a comment
about the 081 is Utah extension. That is probably true, but you see, it can't be the Junior Wells that is the SA,
right,
or the SO,
right,
because it would have a release date.
Well, it also lists his age. It lists his age.
Yes, it's 56, white male. That's our Don's age.
That's our Donnie.
Not 34 like the son. I think that's his age. But anyway.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Right. And I don't think that they would act this fast on Jeannie's intended filing because it has to go through a whole different process. You know, she's got to give testimony. It has to go before a grand jury. There has to be a trial. You know what I'm saying? That's too soon for that. People are saying, no, this isn't connected to Summer. I believe it is. Okay. And that's my story.
Well, how would anyone know what it's related to?
Right.
Is my question. I'm willing to listen, but
yeah, well, because of the fact that the unit where he's at has to do with child trafficking, and that has to do with the missing and exploited children's unit that was there from the beginning when Summer went missing. You know, people forget about that. They say TBI, but they called in that special unit under the FBI. So that's
who this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's connected to this there at Fort Devens.
Okay.
So
well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here to explain that business to me because I'm clueless.
You know, Lee Scottish mom, she gave birth to 16 children. On top, I'm trying to roll tube. I don't have my makeup on today. I look like shit. And I don't even have my lights on. Oops. She gave birth to 16 children. But do you know what's really funny to me is the people Dawn and Candace were staying with at the motel and babysitting their children, Margie and Nathaniel Ward. They're adults, so I'm going to say it. Everybody already knows their names. JLR, quite some time ago, Candace moved in there and acted like she was really close to Dawn's kids. And Dawn's kids came out and were like, my dad would never do nothing wrong. Do you know if you go to JLR Investigates, you can find where they bring out all of their, they went really in depth with Dawn and Candace's criminal past. And did you know that Candace was arrested for attacking Dawn's son-in-law way before Summer went missing? Go to JLR and look up their criminal reports. It pops up. Candace Bly's been arrested or something. Google search it. You'll see it. So Dawn's kids lie. They came out here and act like, I love my dad. We never had problems. He never did that. There's a literal arrest report of Candace attacking and hitting Dawn's daughter's husband.
She's back.
And Tiffany's saying that this doesn't have anything to do with Jeannie, and she's right because it's
right.
Okay, I see.
Sorry.
She is back.
Yeah, because if it had to do with Jeannie, he would be in Utah.
Exactly.
Whatever I did, I deserve a kiss.
Thank you.
Hey, I thought this was G-rated over here.
I don't even think he knows what he did, but he fixed it.
Okay.
I said, what did you do? How did you fix it? He said, I don't know, but whatever it was, I deserve a kiss.
And see, Ellen J is saying the FBI court team, which was sent to there to check out Summer's disappearance, they are in Boston, which I'd already checked out. She's correct. So this has to do with Summer's disappearance.
Hey, TCC, is that what we're calling you now?
I don't really care.
Or should it be? Do you have a way to put a banner?
I have no idea. See, that's why I want to switch. That way Tiffany can teach me how to use it. Because I have no idea.
Can Tiffany or somebody, a mod, pin a comment? Not that anyone's going to read it, but people keep asking like the same question. So
what is the same question?
You know, if Don is in custody somewhere.
Well, I sent Tiffany a link on Discord, and if she wants, she can join and set that record straight because no one would know besides her any better than law enforcement because she is in there like smoke here.
So, okay. Just to clarify, we're talking about Boston, Mass?
Right. Not
Because
Boston, Tennessee.
That's the closest.
Yeah, see, Boston, Tennessee is
that's
a little, it's not even an incorporated city, and it's near Franklin, Tennessee, and there's no FBI facility there. When they say Boston, they're talking about the card unit in Massachusetts. That's the Fort Devens is linked to that.
Okay, people
So
are
no,
asking,
this-
please, someone clarify, is 081 Utah or Massachusetts? It's Massachusetts, right?
Well, it might
Or-
be because when they get through with him, they're going to send it to Utah. Somebody keeps saying that the 081 extension on his number that he's been assigned there has to do with Utah. Well, it could be the fact that he is from Utah. I don't know.
Okay, Lindsay
But I
D
know
says
that-
it's a Utah federal code. I don't know, but I feel like we should try to verify that.
Yeah.
Did
Let's see
Tiffany
what
say if she's going to join or not? Can you guys see chat?
Yeah, but it's moving
Yeah.
too fast for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's saying, Tiffany, please come up on panel. Yes, I wish you would, hon. Come up here and tell everybody because you're at the ground floor with this. Let's see. Okay.
Sorry, guys. If I get quiet, I'm texting somebody out there.
Okay.
Ooh, I found federal inmate register codes.
Okay.
So here I go. And what is it again? What's the number? 081.
It's 081. Mhm.
Oh, shiz.
What happened?
That's Utah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Then Jen
How-
C
why
says
wouldn't
it's
that have-
involved in that.
so why wouldn't we think that has to do with Jeannie? Is my question.
Well, because it has to do with child trafficking. It's the headquarters for child trafficking, the FBI headquarters for child trafficking. He did not traffic Jeannie, you know.
But why would it have an 081 attached to him then?
Well, maybe it has to do with where he was born.
I don't think he was, well, I don't know where he was born, but he's lived in many places.
I know, but I think he's from Utah. I think that's that. I don't know. I don't have access to his social security number, so I wouldn't know where, you know, but it has something to do with that.
Okay.
Where the
I think
person is
Tiffany's coming up here to
associated
set us
Oh,
straight.
good. All right.
Guys,
Yes.
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
How? How can you hear me? Because the thing isn't even turned on. My switch, you know that little blue toggle? It's turned off.
Well,
Oh, were you trying to mute yourself?
No, but I was about to tell you that Restream is telling me to refresh my page. And if you guys can hear me, I am not gonna refresh.
Okay.
right.
Can
Change my
everyone
response.
hear TCC?
Yeah, somebody said the 081 might be the law enforcement code. I really can't answer that other than I know he is from Utah. He said he was
Yeah.
from there, like he was born there. So, you know,
Okay. So that
I'm
could
just
be.
saying.
Okay. Where did she go? She fell again.
I don't know, but this is funny. See, I'm having this deal with Restream. It's saying the mobile device support is limited. Switch to a desktop
Oh
computer.
no.
Well,
Okay, here comes Tiffany.
I-
But we won't be able to let her
Okay.
in. So hopefully,
oh,
I need her
Jesus.
to, I'm going to call her True. Hopefully True is on her way back. Lisa said something's on the news. Is it right now, Lisa? Yes. 081 is Utah. Yes.
Yeah.
But we just don't know why. Whether it's because, yeah. So, okay. I don't know.
Somebody said it was his original roll number, whatever that means.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Like that's his number from before when he was in prison. So he keeps his same
Right,
number.
right.
That
Yeah,
makes
I'm
sense.
sure that's what it is.
Somebody's probably listening who knows exactly what it means, and they're probably like, these damn wits. Tiffany's backstage, but we can't let her in because we don't have power.
Yeah, we don't have the
We're
power. to let her
powerless.
in. We're just here. We're just stuck with being co-hosts. I hope she
Doing
can
all
get
the
back
work.
on here.
I might add. True keeps falling.
Oh, goodness.
No, she's so awesome the way she got, she's got all these people talking, and it's fantastic. It's just fantastic.
Okay, Dodie Redding says the prison number stays the same. Okay, just like
Well,
your
look at-
social security number. Yeah.
We were
Okay.
right. Good on us.
Yeah. All right. So you learn
So we're-
everybody, by the time everybody contributes their thing, we have the whole picture because
Uh-huh.
everybody knows something. That's what's so neat about doing true crime and everybody
Yeah.
collaborating.
Yep, and playing nice in the sandbox.
That's right. Being nice to each other. I mean, we put out these theories and stuff and our hypotheses, and somebody's always wrong, but then somebody's right. But then, if you don't share ideas, you just like in a vacuum.
Yes. Tunnel vision.
Yes.
I
Well, oh,
swear to Jesus that if this-
hello.
Mm-mm.
Are
I
you
swear
back?
if we start, this is see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if this I want everybody to know that if this stupid laptop and this stupid internet messes up while we're talking to this neighbor, I want everybody to know it is being recorded, and I will post it later, and I will try to go live again. Look, this is not my thing, so I'm doing the best that I can, and apparently I'm just going to have to hurry up and be able to go live from my phone because me and laptops do not mix well. Sorry, they just don't.
Well, can you let Tiffany in if you're back? Or
Is she in?
Yeah, she said she's
she was
backstage.
backstage.
Oh, hey. Sorry, it kept telling me to reload. Okay, there we go. Hello.
Hey, is my sound okay?
You're super
I'm
quiet.
not, well, don't tell her that.
Oh, wow.
It's a little quiet.
How do I fix the sound on here?
I can hear you, and as long as people in chat can hear you,
Let me check
then that's
the
all that
sound.
matters.
Then who cares if Libby could hear you?
I can hear her. I mean, she's just really soft spoken, so.
Okay.
I'm just gonna jam my earbuds into my
How
ears
is
further.
this? Is this better?
Maybe it's
Is that
because your dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I just changed it to a better. It was in regular, and I changed it to the the regular one I usually use. Okay, great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
Yeah, I can
Tiffany.
hear you now.
I'm so sorry. I got a message saying that you needed me earlier, but I was out. I was running errands all day. I've been out all day. I'm so sorry, and I don't even know what you needed me for. I apologize.
I'm gonna have to look back I might have just been telling you something.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I might have just been telling you something. I did send you a link.
Fine.
Let me look at my messages.
You're good.
Okay.
No worries.
I see your message, Emery. Thank you, honey.
Right, how do I make Tiffany's face big?
Don't make my face big. Even where did I just funny? Oh,
Okay,
Jeannie's in your chat. Aw.
Yeah.
Aw, hello.
Everybody
and thank you
throw
so
up
much
some
for
love for
coming.
Jeannie, please. Throw some hearts in
Jeannie,
there.
you're,
Let's
you're amazing.
Bless your heart.
We love you. Oh my gosh, I love you
Justice
so
for
much.
Jeannie.
Justice
right.
for Jeannie. Jeannie's strong. She says that she hasn't officially filed yet, so it has to be about summer.
Yeah.
Yes!
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Bless your
Oh,
heart,
wow.
Jeannie. We love you.
We do. Everybody
Yes.
does.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay,
You're
so
my
Tiffany,
hero.
Yeah.
let us know what has been going on today, please, and clear up rumors and speculation.
Well, I guess the only
Okay, I think we're live now. We decided to go ahead and
the only thing that really needs to be cleared up is that, Don really did get arrested and he really was extradited to Massachusetts, and it's not a lie. And that's for certain.
And do we know what became of Miss Bly?
She's still at home, I believe,
Okay.
as far as I know.
All right.
I mean, I
ask
don't know.
her.
You really never know. Things could change from minute to minute or hour to hour, but I believe Candace is still at home.
Okay, so do you know what time? Because there's a rumor going around saying that he was arrested at 11 last night.
I thought that it was a little bit later, like into the early hours of the morning, but sure, it could have been. It totally could have been.
Okay, so the thing that we're gonna talk to the caller about, the neighbor. She called a
Oh,
source.
you have a neighbor coming up?
Yeah,
Yes.
the neighbor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's the one that. Oh my God! Don't start this again. Oops, something went wrong. Try reloading your page. Are you?
Oh, girl.
Anyway,
Do you know how to use StreamYard?
I don't have it though. Like I don't.
It's super easy. If you ever want to learn, I'll teach you. I mean, right now wouldn't be the appropriate time, but what's happening with it? Is it giving you trouble?
It just keeps saying something went wrong. Try reloading the page. I'm just gonna take off chat. Maybe chat's throwing it off. I don't know. I'm just gonna take
Did
off
it
chat.
kick you out?
Not yet. It hasn't. It's the signal is yellow. It was green. Now it's yellow. We are getting a lot of wind. We are under a tornado watch, by the way.
Wow.
So that might have something to do with it.
If
Yes.
you need anything, just let me know. I can help you. If you, God forbid, can't stream or something, I can open my panel up.
Okay, great.
you need
And then
anything, just let me know.
I'll try to hop on there. I don't even know how to hop on anywhere by phone, but if something happens to the stream and we all get booted or something like that, then
Yeah,
I'll just come
fix
on your
it.
panel and put the call on your channel.
No problem. If you need anything, it's fine.
So before I do get kicked out, I'm green again. Great. It must be the wind because the neighbors outside furnitures are going crazy. So,
Oh my God.
but it's okay. It's not about this tornado. This is about summer.
Look at all the love in the
So,
chat for Janine. That's so beautiful. The chat's so good to her.
I love
Yes.
it. So the call came to me at 1:03, and the person said, the neighbor just called me. I'm going over there now. And I was like, oh my God. So I stayed up till like 4 or later, waiting for a reply. But there's no service. There's no signal over there in that area. So I was like listening to the police and just waiting for something. And I know like the base would be like, they would call an officer, they're like, base. And I'm like, come on, officer, respond, say something to base.
They probably kept it off the scanner because it had to do with them. I'm pretty sure they've got it set up that anything that comes in about them goes private. So that's probably why you didn't hear anything.
Yeah. So what happened was, as far as I know, and I don't have all the details because we haven't talked to the neighbor yet. This is what this live is all about. So she heard some stuff and looked out the window and saw Candace running down the road. And she thought she saw Dawn following. And this is just what I'm told, and she's going to tell us her whole thing. And this is just, I guess, a preview of what she's going to say. But she said she thought she saw Dawn following behind Candace. However, it turned out to not be Dawn. Somebody else came down the driveway. Ooh. So there was 3 people in the mix.
Okay.
And
was it a male? It was a male.
I do think so. This is how it was relayed to me that she originally thought Dawn was following behind Candace, but then somebody else came down the driveway who I thought was this is how it came off to me. She thought that person coming down the driveway was Dawn. So then she knew that the person following Candace couldn't have been Dawn, and it was another woman. And she started arguing and fussing with this other woman. And whenever the source got there, there was a sheriff's deputy there, and they could hear commotion and arguing and stuff going on the top of the hill. So we're going to hear about that from the neighbor. And she also, the source told me that she would let Candace and the kids sleep over at her house on many occasions to get away from Dawn. So this will be
interesting to get away.
I don't know if this is the same neighbor that that heard the same, but I don't know. We can ask her when she's on the phone. And I'm really glad you guys are here because I did not expect this interview to happen. I didn't ask for it to happen. It was suggested and she agreed. So I don't have like a million questions lined up to ask. So, the more minds, the better.
So we'll unmute when you go on. Is it going to be on your phone?
Yeah, she doesn't have a cell phone. So, I think the source is going to be letting her use the phone, or we might be using her landline. I'm not sure yet which call is going to come in, but yeah. And I'll just hold the phone. I'll have it on speaker and I'll just hold it up to my mic.
True, you're going to get a lot more people in here soon.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You want to give your mods some direction?
It's pretty simple. If there's anybody creaming their panties for Dawn, kick them out, ban them. And if there's anybody
don't ever say that again.
if there's anybody in here on the voices behind the drywall bandwagon simping for them, kick them out. If there's any skeezers in here, kick them out. Like it's not about them.
No simping, skeezing, or creaming up in here.
Right. That is not what this is for. I don't want to see not one person saying, "Oh, well, you don't know." Shut up. Okay.
Yay. Justice for Jeannie.
Yes.
Yes.
Justice for Summer. And we need to find Summer.
Amen.
Summer.
You're gonna find her. I really truly believe they're gonna find her.
I think that because Dawn is out of the picture, that Candace will be able to speak freely. And the reason why I think that she hasn't been able to is because if you remember at the one prayer vigil that Dawn got up to and got out of the car, and everybody was sitting there showing him support and giving their sympathies and, quoting scripture to him and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh yeah, thank you. And, it's been hard. Everybody's coming after me. And, he let that go on for like 15 minutes. And then as soon as one person showed the slightest bit of compassion to Candace, he shut it down. He said, all right, well, we got to go. And what was the woman telling her? Nobody can tell you you're a bad mom. This isn't your fault. We support you. And he said, okay, I had to cut it short, but we got to go. And Candace was like, I'm not going to say Candace is like mom of the year or anything like that. I'm not going to say that I support her life decisions before, during, or after becoming a mother. But you can see that she is obviously distraught whenever people are showing her compassion, something she is not used to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that much.
Right.
I don't think Candace is going to. I think she's ride or die for Dawn. I don't think that she's going to change her feelings. I don't think that him not being there is going to change anything. I think that she has a very codependent relationship with him, and I don't know. I don't think she's.
Yeah, I do see the codependence for sure, 100.
Oh, yeah.
But remember in that last live with that phone call that was on Voices, where she was in the background calling him an effing a-hole. I think possibly if the right person gets to her to question her,
maybe. I don't think she's going to flip on him. I think she knows exactly what happened to Summer. That's just my opinion, though. She
probably does. It makes me feel very ill, but
I know
she probably does.
I go back and forth with my feelings about Candace. Sometimes I feel like really sympathetic towards her, and sometimes completely blown away by the lack of emotion for Summer that I've seen.
Right.
I'm
actually,
worried that, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're fine.
When she had that little outburst,
Mhm.
Maybe it didn't have anything to do with Summer. Maybe it was because she got wind of these text messages between him and Denise or whoever, this woman that he's telling that he loves.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she's pissed.
I think that there's a lot more. I probably shouldn't say that, it's rude. I'll just keep my opinion to myself about it.
Fair enough.
Tiffany. I'm trying to not say everything that I think.
Yeah. I'm not used to that.
We just don't know the inner workings thereof, and how it works out between them and stuff. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, someone's coming in.
Everybody
here.
put in the chat, you guys, listen, slow down your chat using
we lost her
because she's having trouble with her internet, and I know a lot of people are saying, can you slow the chat? But it's kind of hard to figure out when you're not used to streaming. She's not even up here. So if you're having trouble seeing the chat, just slow it down with your finger and it'll stop your chat, and you can scroll and you can control how fast your chat goes. For the time being, just until she gets back up. I can walk her through how to slow her chat down and stuff, but we got to get her back up here first.
All right,
hang in there, you guys.
Okay. People are offering to mod, but we don't have. She's not here. So
I'm here too, if you need anything.
Is there trouble in the chat?
No, I don't see anything. There's nothing that I see that's going on that.
You didn't hear the neighbor, Lori Ann Benoit, because Jody Sue stopped it from happening by calling the police and the police going and pulling Chase over. I don't know if Chase was arrested or not, but he 100% was pulled over. And Jody Sue apparently reached out to their family. I don't know how it happened. We don't know exactly who the neighbor is, but the interview never happened. Penny had another interview where the live wouldn't work, and they went over to Tiffany Marie's and was going to do it over there. This was like a whole 24-hour, 48-hour excursion trying to get this neighbor up on panel while they're harassing this elderly lady, right? I'm starting to think it was Fred's mom, because it's not Jody Sue, it's not Sharfie, but mother-in-law or girlfriend's mother, goad, whatever. Sexton. That's it. The girl on the right is Tiffany. Yes, that's Tiffany Marie. You're welcome, Lori Ann.
Reese's any red flags that I can see.
Okay.
Someone said Don's going to roll on Candace. I think that that's far more likely than Candace rolling on Don.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
He's been trying to throw her under the bus the whole damn time.
Mm.
He's been trying to throw anybody under the bus.
It also fits the timeline of Benton getting arrested on the Wells property, according to Fred, in the fight. 6 months ago, Fred said at that time, and it fits the exact timeline. Also, the timeline that somebody was in the woods, a gun went off, and then you hear Fred talk about another incident with Bill Benton. I showed you that last night. I don't know, Trow. I don't know. It's weird, though, huh? Seemed that way.
No, another thing is too, and I think it's important to say, we have no idea what his ties to Massachusetts are. And I don't think anybody I've ever heard talk about him have ever discussed him having any kinds of connections to Massachusetts or anything like that. So what I'm thinking is, if this is related to Summer, what he was just picked up for, if it's related to Summer, I would imagine that whoever he has done dealings with would be connected to Mass, or something has gone on there, or this could be something completely unrelated, which I don't personally think it's completely unrelated, but on the off chance that it is, because we kind of have to take everything into consideration, right? We know that it's not about Jeannie, because Jeannie has admitted in the chat even that she hasn't even sat down to do what she needs to do yet. So we know that it's definitely not anything related to that, not yet.
Right.
But is there a possibility that he may have had some, okay, so he talked about these drug cartel. Okay, so he's talking about the Mexican cartel, and he's talking about how he he was lent $50,000. He paid them back 30. He still owed them 20. Now, I'm wondering, you guys, like I'm thinking along the lines of, what if, and this is just completely speculation because we have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to understand the Massachusetts aspect of this. I'm trying to think are there any people that he deals with for work that might be connected to another business in Massachusetts, somebody that he might have been doing dealings with who might be from Massachusetts, a company, I don't know, anything. It could be a number of things. I'm just trying to understand what grounds he would be expedited to I don't know why he'd be extradited to Massachusetts from Tennessee. It's so strange to me. Someone just asked, do I think Summer could be alive? I believe that there is a huge chance that Summer could be alive after the things that I've heard and seen. And I also believe that there's a huge chance that she could have been taken out of this world as well. I think that, I don't know. I'm very split down the middle at the moment. I've not had a lot of hope that she's been alive for the last month or so. But this morning that kind of changed. I think there's a huge possibility she could be alive. But I also think that there's a huge possibility she could have been collateral. And that really scares me for her.
I think there's a connection between all those people that came from the Northeast in October.
That could be as well. I don't know if any of them have connections to Massachusetts, but
Pretty close
it's not Boston, Tennessee. Literally, it's Boston, Massachusetts. It's confirmed 100%. It is not Boston, Tennessee. Hold on one second. I have to mute. I apologize.
Well, I'd like to say that the FBI card center, and that has to do with the trafficking division of the FBI. So that may it has something to do with that. We don't know.
So you're thinking it's the card team?
They're in Boston, so that's what I think. It could be wrong, but I'm just investigating, and they're out of Boston. So
yeah, well, how many? See, but that's how many different locations do they have? Does anybody know? The card team, don't they have the is the child abduction rapid deployment?
That's their
don't
main.
they have multiple? It's their main office.
Yes, that's the main one.
Okay.
Dawn was home the next morning. Let me tell you what I think happened. You see, the card team works with the TBI and they work with Lawson. And oftentimes when there's a big case, the FBI will open divisions in places like Knoxville or Kingsport or Tennessee or Hawkins County. They'll start working out of their office, especially at the beginning of a case. And they may have logged Dawn while they took Dawn in overnight for questioning because Bill Benton beat the fuck out of him that night. And they may have logged it as Boston has him. Not that they flew Dawn to Boston. Candace may have had that confused. The next day, Dawn was home. Candace made that call to Mary. I didn't know nothing about the card team. Something about they tried to save 22 children. Fred says the same thing. 22 children in Knoxville. There is ties to Dawn and drug trafficking activity. They are documented, well documented. The hotel his mother ran was a seedy hotel. I never looked into it, but I can tell you right now it was. I'm going to guarantee there was lots of arrests. Dawn made the statement, my mother had to hire undercover cops, security guards to come in and keep people from arresting them or something. It was a weird statement. Hey, Kylie. Here in California, they just arrested 300 people and saved 44 children, young adults in the trafficking bust. This is the second big bust here this year so far. Another thing is a lot of times drug trafficking and human trafficking, they go hand in hand. It's not a separate operation. And that's what people think. They think it's either like when you're doing big child trafficking, right? It's not going to be like, I was watching something really interesting last night. I fell asleep listening to it. It was this channel. They have a live all day long of these boat captures of refugees and rug trafficking. And I may play it at the end of this live. I'm in no rush today. I got 5 hours worth of material, and I have probably another 5 hours worth or more because I have Scott's and I have other people's stuff. This is just what I saved on Penny. I had a lot more, but I lost it. I don't know what to tell you, and I'm trying to get this all out because my computer has been funky, and I don't know when I can get another one. So in case my computer fucking crashes, you all have all this shit to clip. Yep. Thank you, CM. Yeah. And Dawn does have connections and has spoken about both rug and human trafficking in his past as a child, as a young adult, being with Pamela. So this is something I really think people need to fucking look into, and I don't understand why they spend so much time going, Jody Sue, Jody Sue. I don't see Jody Sue and Andy as people. They got their kids back after they got out of jail. Andy works. Andy said last night, it was before 05, I think, that Jody was a stripper. And I think they got their kids back and tried their best to raise their kids without their family's help, because the whole family's jacked up, dude. Like, they're Fred Hill's family. Think about it. Grandma Fleeta's been SA'd by a neighbor. And, like, you have to look at the history of this damn family. This makes me think when Dawn said he knew of places where they sell children, it's when they was in... Yes. And it's probably exactly where Pamela Wells was living, in a man named Jose's house. Because right after she moved out, there was a huge bust. I looked into all of this. I have to go find it all again. But you guys can help me go research it. Go look up Dawn's mom and where she lived, if you have been verified. Mine's not paid right now. My husband lost his job, and he's working in a convenience store. You see, I don't get the super chats. Everybody else fucking does. I don't put my fucking Cash App out. I struggled home. I literally do this. I think yesterday was YouTube payday. I got nothing. Nothing. So far. I usually make $100 every 2 or 3 months. I do this because I really want Summer found. Anyways. And I know that lifestyle. I lived it with my parents.
Let me actually look up and see how many offices they have.
Okay.
Let me see. Because they never
I think all those guys and that Jose guy are part of all of this somehow.
You do?
Well, that could be. That was kind of...
And the money. Kinda. I think that was crazy strange. Who...
Yeah.
Under what circumstances would 14 strangers ever come and just squat in your house for a day, but then leave? There was really no explanation about it other than it just was the most bizarre thing I've ever.
Yeah. Did you see they pulled their videos today?
What? What do you mean they pulled their videos?
Yes,
what do you mean?
I'm looking.
Well, they were supposed to go live and they're not going now, I guess.
Oh,
they canceled.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. Well, it's okay. Listen, you know what? The way I see it is we'll just everybody be super patient because they have to do what's best for Summer. And if they need a week or a month to get through all this and to put out the information that they see fit when the time is right for them, we're all willing and ready to wait for that for Summer. No matter what, we have to hold in and wait for her. They have to make sure that they put her first. And that's what this is all about. So it sucks, right? You want to hear from them. But if it takes waiting, it takes waiting. And we'll be here.
Well, we just don't have a choice.
And if it means
Yeah.
right, and if it means that we find her, we have a chance to save her. But now, Drew said that he's reading messages from sources. So I don't know what she's going to come on here and say. But she's right now. She's on the phone with Scott.
Oh, okay. Oh, with Scott H.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Prairie
Yeah,
Boy still
he's
has
really
a
nice.
swimming schedule for tonight.
General Jones, I checked for Devon's. He's not there, and if he is, he hasn't been listed. I checked.
What somebody said, Donald Wells. Where the heck did that go? I lost it.
I think what happened, you guys, is that Voices might have texted with Candace and not have realized that it wasn't Don, and she probably really thought that it was Don. I don't think that she talked on the phone. I think she texted with Candace, and maybe Candace did not want to talk about him being gone. You know, she might be trying to keep things hush hush is all, but that's just my opinion. I don't think the Voices actually spoke with him because they would have known that when I put up the post that I did this morning, I had verification very early this morning that this had happened, and there's no way possible that they were able to talk to Don. There's just no way.
Yeah, I didn't see that stream, so I don't know what everyone's talking about with that.
I didn't watch it, but I listened because I was out and about.
Uh-huh.
But they were just very adamant that he did not get arrested, that they just spoke several hours ago, and there's absolutely no way that that's possible.
Okay, and I wanted to address somebody in chat, and it's probably a whole bunch of people. I've already called Hawkins County, and he's definitely not at the county jail.
Oh, no,
Just put that out there.
he's not.
But people are asking, so
Oh, you called them?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I sure did.
Yeah, no, he was flown to Boston.
Wow. So how would that go? Like, who, I sound so dumb, but who would have gotten him and extradited him?
The feds.
Would it have been it would have been
I
the
think it would
feds
have been.
then?
Yeah, I think it would have been the feds.
And that's why I want to
I
talk
could
to
be
this
completely wrong.
caller.
It could have been Ronnie Lawson. He might have just pulled up in there and handled business. But I think it was probably the feds. You know.
I don't even know why I find that funny. Just
Why? What do you?
could have just been Ronnie Lawson.
I love it. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I've literally been over the moon for him since day one. When he said everyone's a suspect, I was like, boom. I love this guy. And then he said it again and he totally stole my heart over again. And then he said it again and I'm like, I'm sold. I love this guy. Totally.
Oh.
Listen, I love that though when law enforcement is so stern and they're very strong in their stance and they're all for the child. That gives me a very good feeling. You don't see this a lot. I know a lot of people have been hard on them, but I don't see what other people see. I've seen so many children let down by law enforcement, and I've just had so much faith in them throughout all this. There's been a couple times where I'm like, oh no, like the time where they went out to the swimming hole. I'm like, they haven't been there. Oh God, don't tell me that they haven't been there, right? But I got over it, and I think they've done an absolutely amazing job. It's just been an outstanding. I think it's been outstanding. Their search, everything. I think even though Summer wasn't found, I would want if she was my daughter, or God forbid, one of my children was taken, I would want people like that searching for her.
Right.
That's incredible. The search that we saw, that could never have done it any justice. What we saw on TV, amazing. I give so much credit to Hawkins County and the TBI and the FBI. And some people might not share those same feelings, but it's just my opinion.
Tiffany, will you address anyone in here who's saying, well, someone said that Plunder called, I haven't seen her video, but that Plunder called and John is not in custody. I don't know where she called.
Where did she call? He's not going to show up okay. Well, first of all, I have respect for Plunder. He's probably not going to show up. He's probably not even been processed. You don't even know if he's been booked. He's probably sitting in an interrogation room. They're going to turn his brain to mush and he's not going to show up on the computer. Probably, I would say till, what do you think? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow morning, but we don't even know where he's being kept. And they might try to keep him very low profile. So we have no clue what has resulted, what's caused this result with him. Who knows what they're going to do? And they know the social media aspect of this. So they can really keep him under the radar for as long as they really want to.
Hey, we just lost Big Eyes.
I know, I noticed.
What's going on here?
I don't know, but where did True go?
Well, she messaged in the chat that she was reading.
We'll just be your host for a while until she gets back.
Oh my God.
And we know this how. We know what how. What are you trying to ask? We know what how.
Yeah, she's just saying she's reading messages from sources. So I don't know.
Reading messages from sources. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have one source and one source only, and I can't divulge anything that I know. And I'm not going to ever prove what I know. It's not my place. So no one will be getting that from me.
My only source is the Lord.
Well, yes, of course.
I'm just saying that's not only.
All right, then I have two.
How's your cat doing?
Good. You know what? She's doing amazing. Thank you for asking. She's feeling
Just
much
totally
better.
normal now?
She's totally normal now. Everything is fine.
Good.
She's right back to her normal self. She doesn't like to be held. She doesn't like to be pet. She's like, get away from me. But
Like, I'm fine.
that's how I knew she was sick, because she was all over me. Hey,
Oh.
you're back. Can we hear her?
She lived. Hello?
Hey.
True.
Give her a sec. She's probably fixing her mic, maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm missing all these people. I can't keep up with all these tags.
Don B. Oh, golly.
There's
Every
no
time I
way
start reading
can-
it, it flies away and I can't see it anymore.
I'm not going to be able to answer all these things in the chat.
Oh, she's on the phone with Scott. Okay.
Take your time, hon. She's fine.
Okay. But someone said Don B is on his channel.
Listen, Lorianne, I don't think they flew him to Boston. I think it was the Boston card team stationed out of Boston that came in to a card team field office in Hawkins County, in Rogersville, or in Knoxville, and I believe they took Dawn to their office for questioning. Their like rented room, I guess you could call it. A lot of times, how do I explain this? I had a really good video of the FBI card team, and I don't know where the hell it went. Let me go check my Canva if I have it saved. You guys listen to this. I'll be right back.
Saying something, but I can't find it now anymore.
LJ, can you explain exactly what you know for all those who just came in? I could give a quick rundown of just the basics. So overnight, the overnight hours, it was said that Don was picked up and he was flown to Boston, Massachusetts, not Boston, Tennessee, Boston, Massachusetts. And I don't have a exact reason why. I have no explanation for that. I wish I knew. It's not for Jeannie though. And Jeannie was in here a little while ago, and she actually wrote in the chat, hasn't followed through with the process yet. She hasn't started that process yet. So it's definitely not for anything to do with her. And I thank her for coming in here to clear that up, because that's one more piece of the puzzle, right? So that it's not for Jeannie, not yet. And as far as we know, Candace has not been taken anywhere. She's at home, and I believe very distressed.
Okay, I just sent her a message to verify, because people are in the chat are saying that you're supposed to start a new stream. Oh, okay. Camille said it, and she's
no,
let
her do it.
Oh, nope. True said no. So that's coming.
Yeah, let her do her stream, guys. She's got something she's got planned. She asked me to come up. I'm not trying to steal her stream away from her. I'm just here to.
What? Hold on. Wait, what? Guys.
What? No, everyone's saying start a stream over at Tiffany's because they think you're having trouble, but she's on the phone. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. So Scott's going to be joining in a little bit, because everybody knows this, but this isn't just my channel. This is Scott. He's amazingly helpful in all of it. And I didn't know what guys was not on. I am so sorry. I've been distracted, but thank you guys for continuing to talk while I've situated problems. I can't promise there won't be more, but Scott has agreed to come on in case I have another issue. What's going to happen is he will just continue on. Okay.
He wants to stay here, you guys. We're gonna stay here.
And that's something that I was gonna do, but then I did put in chat to go ahead and start a stream, but then so
yeah, no, it was only if you were gonna have trouble with your internet, like if your weather was gonna blow you out, then I said I would start one for you, but only if you needed me to. Not at all have any plans.
Yeah. Good golly, Miss Molly, everything's okay. It just was a lot of people were putting it in the chat, so I went and private messaged you. Then I got your answer, and then the shit hit the fan, and here we are.
Yeah, he's
okay. So Scott, I know you're listening, and I have my phone on Do Not Disturb now because I'm getting ready to accept the call from a neighbor. But I want Scott to be on before we do, because if I have it.
Okay, here's what I did. I can't find the video, but let me explain this. It's better if I read it. The FBI's child abduction wrap and deployment team, usually called the CARD team, does not permanently open offices inside local police stations. When a child goes missing, what they usually do is set up a temporary command post or joint operations center inside or near the local law enforcement agency handling the case. In a case like Summer Wells, here's generally how it works. Local police or sheriff's office responds first in Summer Wells' case. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and Tennessee Bureau of Investigation began. The FBI field office gets involved. The nearest FBI field office for Eastern Tennessee, this would typically be the FBI Knoxville agency, under the FBI Knoxville field office, can request assistance from National Card Team Program if the disappearance may involve abduction, danger to child, suspicious circumstances, ransom, or trafficking, or a high-risk missing child. Card Team deploys temporarily. The Card Team members are already stationed at FBI offices around the country. They travel into the area and work alongside with local investigators. They do not create a permanent FBI branch inside the police station. They establish a command center. Often they use a police station, sheriff's office, emergency operations center, mobile command truck, or other government building. Give me 1 second, I need a drink. This becomes the central place where tips are proceeded, maps are analyzed, search teams are coordinated, surveillance video is reviewed, interviews are organized, and evidence is tracked. Joint task force structure. The FBI works jointly with local police, sheriff departments, state investigators, forensic teams, behavioral analysis, search and rescue groups, and sometimes volunteer organizations. The local agency usually keeps primary jurisdiction unless a federal crime is confirmed. About Boston specifically, the FBI has a permanent field office in Boston called the FBI Boston Field Office. Card personally may be assigned there as part of the Northeast Region team, but they deploy wherever needed in the region or country. They are not limited to Boston. In the Summer Wells case, investigation reports indicated the FBI card team arrived within days of her disappearance and worked jointly with Tennessee investigators for an extended period of time. Does it make sense? Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. Let me see. Thank you, Lori Ann Benoit. Oh, and look, that's what I read. I guess I forgot to share. So I believe at the time this was going on, or when I was researching it, I had found out there are 4 card teams placed along America, and they each serve a different section of America. Boston is the card team that would have been called into Knoxville or Rogersville for summer. So I hope that makes sense to you. And who's praying for somebody's granddaughter? Oh, I'm so sorry. Prayers for your granddaughter. Okay, I'll check the chat. I'm gonna put that video back on. I didn't mean to give commentary, but I can't help it.
Issues, then he can just unmute his mic, and you guys will still be able to hear what I'm saying with the neighbor.
Yeah, and I'm gonna mute.
Okay. So Scott, go ahead and join. And I sent you the link. What did I miss?
Oh my gosh, the whole chat is saying TCC is asking you to start a stream. I missed all of them. I wasn't even looking at the chat. I'm so sorry, you guys. I wasn't even looking.
But they're happy to hear about your cat.
Aw, she's good. She's good. I don't want to let her crash the stream with my cat.
Yeah, no, I asked Tiffany on here because she's got good insight on what exactly is going on. So it's a pleasure to have her here.
I'm honored to come up here. Thank you. I think the world of you guys. You guys are doing amazing things over here. And I appreciate very much that you guys are doing what you're doing. I think the things that you guys are doing are very valuable. And it's very selfless for you guys to get out there, like boots on the ground. It's a selfless thing to do. And the things that Chase has done are incredible. Scott, he came up on my panel a couple weeks ago and we spent hours, and that man is a wealth of knowledge. So very much appreciated over here.
Somebody just, oh gosh, I'm sorry. This chat is
It's okay.
red any bananas because I just, while you were talking, Tiffany, and I made that noise, was because someone said that they saw where Don was charged with something, and now I can't find it.
Okay,
Somebody type that in again, please, because I need to know.
We need
to know.
Was it Great Use Investigates? He's talking about the Utah Code.
No, I don't think so.
He's been charged all over the place. This guy's been, I mean, he's got charges.
No, it's September 1st. September 1st. Today.
Oh, September 1st? Okay, hold on.
We actually have the date on it.
Did you see it in the chat or did you see it on this screen up here? Because I noticed the screen up here is super delayed, like by a long time, like a minute or two.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I saw it on the
right, let me
stream.
try to scroll up really quick and see if I can find it.
Why do we have Santa Clauses? Who's putting Santa Claus and why? No wonder it's still showing me that people are asking for a stream. Oh gosh.
Yes, that's why it's so delayed. This chat up here on the screen is super delayed.
Okay, let me look at, oh, my dogs are gonna play now. Okay. I mean, she is just tearing it up over here. Uh-oh.
All right. So OG Beautiful Disaster said, Tiffany Marie, I just read in someone's comments, they copied and pasted an article saying Don was served an arrest warrant in the early hours, September 1st for SA. Where did you see that? Can you send it to my email? Because we need the actual link to that in order to even state something.
We need the receipts, hunty.
Receipts. Send them to, send it to this email right here if you have that. I searched for him for quite a bit and I couldn't find anything, but maybe something just hit. There's my email. I just dropped it in the chat. Send it straight to me and I'll open it.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Hi, Scott.
Doing okay. Let's from my end here. Tiffany, I think what you said was can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, because I want everybody to hear me and all the viewers to hear me. So be real cautious with this. Things are very fluid right now. There's a lot of stuff being said right now that from my end has not been proven yet. So none of us want to go back and have to backpedal.
Agree. Yep. So everybody in the chat, be careful.
I'm not trying to tell everybody else has got their show, but this is true crime commentary. And I don't want true crime commentary to have to backpedal on something because of things getting way out of hand and lots of people, everybody in the true crime community on their web channels, on their websites and stuff are posting this and that and everything else. So as far as me, I'm going to go at this cautiously because from what I know here locally, and I'm not going to go beyond that. And I think that's important that we need to do.
I agree.
Make sure we all maintain our integrity, or at least this channel is going to maintain its integrity. And I'm not going to backpedal on anything. Throughout this whole thing, I've not had to backpedal on one thing because everything that I've put out or have been behind the scenes and putting out on this channel, Penny does the majority of the voice work. That's by design.
So they're waiting for this guy to get an interview with the neighbor. Scott comes up on the panel to attack 4 women. I want you to pay attention to what he did when Chase got pulled over or arrested. I'm not quite sure.
But everything is, we've never had to backpedal anything because we've always got facts. Always. Now, if people, they can listen to our chats and they can disagree with our chats and they can not like our chats and all that's good. But all that's telling us is they just don't like the facts because it doesn't suit the way that it wants it to be for them. Well, that's not how stuff works. Facts are facts. Facts don't care whether you like them or not.
That's right.
So, I'm just, as for my part on here, I called Penny a second ago with some, concerns that I had on maybe where the direction this was headed on here. Everybody gets excited, and I know that, but it's like I said before, when, and this doesn't make us special in any other way. The only difference is we happen to live close. If a little girl went missing in or little boy, child, teenager, adult, whatever, went missing in your area, you would be privy to more information than what I would be, because you live locally and, you just find out more because of the local people, talking about things. So, and that's usually closer to the truth, is what's going on locally than it is across the big interwebs. The internet's a huge place. So, let's try to vet stuff and maybe, look at it. Let's see who we've got up here. What big eyes we've got. Libby, is that true crime, Libby?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then Tiffany we've got up here. Okay, good.
Hey, we lost True.
True was up here?
Yeah, she's having
She
a really
was.
hard time. She's dropped off a couple times. She's having trouble unmuting her mic, and she's having some bad weather, she said. So
Right. Well, that's why she wanted me to come up. So if the call from the neighbor comes in,
good.
then it continue from my end of the stream. So we're trying to be able to get, keep this continuous if we can. Because she is dealing with some weather issues and stuff.
Did the neighbor verify when she's going to be calling?
No, I was still asleep during that part. I just woke up to all this.
Okay. How are you doing?
Good.
All right.
I was awake last night when the last part that I heard. Hang on just a second. I've got a message. Okay. Yeah. This is, just slow down a little bit on all this.
what's going on, Scott?
Well, I'm somewhat limited at what I can say because of the people that are involved right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All I can say right now, I just got a message is Blank is looking into it all, but I know Blank is being questioned, and that's all Blank can say.
Okay, gotcha.
Because right now it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was complicated. It's been complicated the whole time.
Right.
It is complicated, very complicated.
But thank you for that, though.
So what I'm going to draw out of that is, because I'm sitting here reading the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the blanks in there intentionally.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure.
So Blank is looking into it. Blank is extremely credible. Blank, y'all have relied on from the very beginning of this since it came out. So we can say they're credible.
Blank is being questioned. It's complicated by the police, Scott. But he's credible. No, the interview didn't happen. But what did he say? Something about since it came out, Blank has been blamed. That's what leads me to now definitely believe it was Fred's mother that they were going to question. Was it?
Every one of us wake up every day waiting to hear something from Blank. All I know is Blank is being questioned. Okay, I'm not going to say who that is, but there's only, if you get into a tight circle, we can all make our assumptions on who that is. And then here's the important part. That's all I can say right now because it's complicated. So let's not complicate it anymore.
Right.
Okay. Somebody get the trolls out. Whoever's modding.
Yeah, I'm a mod in here, but I'm busy. I can only do one thing.
I don't want to go crazy with a wrench or anything. I don't usually block or I'll time out if I really, really need to, but I don't like to mess with people's channel. You know what I mean? Everybody just keep respectful and
mods, listen to me here right quick. Everybody that's a mod, post right now so I can see you. Damsel causing distress, I see you there.
I'm here.
I am, but I can't do it from
the mod. Okay, right there.
And I don't see anybody doing anything crazy in the chat. I don't think. We know News 45 is
Okay,
fake. We get the
Camille, you're
message.
there. Donnie B is there. Okay, I've got at least 4 mods that I know of. If
Well,
you see
there's some sassy comments. I don't know. I mean,
Libby's in here right now. Now, I want everybody to have the opportunity to speak freely because I'm a huge First Amendment guy.
same.
Huge Second Amendment guy. I'm also a Fourth Amendment guy too. Due process, we got to have it. It's a constitutional republic, and we live by that. But if anybody gets in here and starts bashing anybody, kick them out. You don't have to ask me. You're a mod in here for a reason. I'm going to trust you. Don't abuse it, or I'll kick you out.
Makes sense.
All right, good.
Is this an old oh man.
You see, y'all get to see how I am before I have my first cup of coffee. To come in all yelling and hollering and everything.
True Crime said to call her on Discord. I mean,
I'm on the phone with her right now. I just got her on Discord. I've got her on the phone. I just muted really quick. I'll be right back.
Technology.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
So what we're gonna do is she can't get back on the stream, so she's going to. I have her on Discord, and I'm gonna put my phone right here. I'm gonna keep it all the way up so that everyone can hear it, and it'll come through me. Talk so they can hear you. Make sure that they can hear you.
All right. Well, we can do a sound check. Make sure everybody can hear me now.
Can everybody hear her well enough? Let me
It's
know.
slow, but I can hear it. Come on, just wait just a
It's
second.
loud,
I'm getting the incoming breaking.
Okay.
What about now?
It's up all the way. Geez,
Let me connect
This
my,
is going to answer.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna connect my Bluetooth, and then we'll see about if the Bluetooth helps it.
okay. Let me know.
Jesus Christ, left popping in it.
Ansley Daniel, WJHL. We heard they were extraditing him to Boston and that it was federal. Candace said the cops told her to get off the phone because they wanted to talk to her.
Yeah.
She said she would call my aunt back. She never did. So my aunt called her about an hour later, and both their phones went straight to voicemail. So they have taken her too. It was shortly after the YouTube video was posted about the messages about the $50,000 or whatever. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not. But and then the hand emojis, like I don't know. That was a message that was sent to WJHL. Here is Ansley Daniels' response. Hey there. Thank you for reaching out. We have sent this inquiry to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, and he said it is not true. So what we gather from this message is they were extraditing him from Boston and it was federal. Not true. Candace told the cops to get off the phone because they wanted to talk to her. That probably is true. So they may have taken her too. Not true. So there we go. So now that we have that, Ansley Daniel, I'll go back and I'll read you what I was getting before this that I told you I couldn't read. Now I can read.
Hello? Hey, Mary. Hey. What's going on, Candace? They just took Donnie away. Who did? The police. They did? How come? I don't know. They wouldn't tell me the reason why. But they're flying him out to Boston, Massachusetts. They're flying him off to Boston? Yeah. Really? Oh my gosh, Candace. They didn't tell you why? No. So what they do, they just knocked on the door and came in and cuffed him and took him? Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Candace. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wish they would have told you the reason why. They didn't tell me anything. They just said they had to take him because it's all that Jeannie said or did. Oh, really? Wow, Candace, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry, Candace. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, honey. I feel so bad for you. I wish I was there. I wish I could hold you, Candace. He's never given me the kisses wrong, ever. He's always been the greatest father. Right? Oh my gosh, Candace, I'm so sorry. Gosh. They so you don't think that they're just gonna take him for maybe a couple of days and release him? No, I don't think so. You don't think so? Hmm. Well, then, whatever Jenny and her friends did. I don't know, Candace. I don't know. They might just take him maybe for a couple of hours. Maybe they're just taking him to question him or something.
I don't know why Jeannie and her friends did what they did, is what she said. I have a lot of this transcribed, but there were things I still can't understand that I'm still hearing her say. In this, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I don't think it was BS, Moonshine Girl. I think there was truly a fight. I think there was truly a female running down the driveway. I think Fred's mom was on the way to being questioned by Chase and Linda. I think Chase got pulled over because Jody Sue thought she was stopping it by calling the police on them. And I believe Fred talks about the fight that happened in their driveway where Bill Benton got arrested, not Chase for harassing the lady. But in here, you hear her say, oh my God, they're beating him up. They're beating him up. I didn't know anything about the cartel. Something about 22 children. I don't think it's BS at all. I think the Clark team snatched Don up that night and took him to Hawkins County Sheriff's Department and questioned him. Do you understand? I will put this out with I have it. And maybe next live I'll find the one with the words and you can hear what Candace is saying. Anyways, back to what I was sharing before.
Because it's been verified factually. WJHL is looking into it all, but I know he's being questioned, and that's all I can say right now because it's complicated. Okay, just heard from WJHL. He's not in Hawkins County, and I have Ansley's message. And I just read you Ansley's message. So that's where we're standing as of right now.
So where's Don? Where's Don?
Again, it's complicated. Yeah, so here's what I know of the situation that me and Penny were involved in last night, or me and True as she's going on by here or whatever. This is factual, boots on the ground information that can be verified. Eyewitness, boots on the ground people. Most of y'all know me that are on panel, and I know a lot of the people in chats, and my mods especially know me. Sometime early morning, let me go back to my messages here. We had already wound out. Well, I haven't wound down. Penny had wound down and was going to get some rest because she has other things. She's got a family, beautiful children to take care of, dogs, stuff like that. I stay up all hours. I sleep when I want to. I eat when I want to. I do whatever I want when I want to do it. She was planning on going to bed. And I get a message. I texted her. There was a lady talking on AB's channel last night. And I asked her if she knew who it was. She said, I don't know. I left because, well, she was getting ready to go to bed. What'd she say? And I said, well, she's been listening closely to your videos. because she was relaying some information off of the videos that we posted that are known to be factual informations about timelines. I know if y'all haven't listened to, and this is not, this is giving AB credit. AB is a good host. But I called in the other night and laid out a timeline. And Penny has done a video here on our channel, True Crime Commentary, about her timeline, which mine and hers are basically the same because we do the research together. And we have factual, the boots on the ground people, so we know where our information is coming from. And this lady was using our timeline. She had studied quite a bit, which is good for her because we know that she's, got the facts on her side anyway by using that timeline. Because, well, like I said, we know that timeline to be true. So I get a message from Penny at 1:16 this morning, or 1:19. Blank is on the move. Got out of a bed for a tip. LE will be shadowing. And I said, whoa. Penny says, well, friend, I'm beat. I'm going to pray for Blank and that he stays safe, and summer's closer than ever. Vibes and good thoughts till I fall asleep. I said, okay, you're working hard to help. It's appreciated. Get some rest. Then she sends me a message. You ready for this? Don't but laugh. This shit is wild. And I said, okay. And then she gives me a message, and this is at 1:47 a.m. And then I kind of make a snide remark about what the message was about, saying that would make it good on the America's Funniest Home Videos. Just imagining that. It's not funny, but you got to make a lot of situations. And we have confirmation. One of our sources is, and he's been featured on our show and on Tiffany Marie's as well. So he's a good guy. Has talked with the neighbor, was on the phone with the neighbor as he was headed to Beach Creek this morning. Penny asked me if I can pull up the scanner for the last hour or so. I said, I can't because you have to pay for a premium service on Broadcastify to be able to go back to archived feeds. I can only listen to it live. 2:04. Penny contacts me and says, there's a cop there. Blank is about 10 minutes away from being there. Talking about, and then she says, well, I was going to go to bed, laughing out loud. Damn it. So our source is 10 minutes out from Ben Hill Road on the phone with a 70-year-old neighbor. That's confirmed. And
So cops are already there. Chase and possibly Linda are on their way out to the wells while this fight's going on with Benton that I believe Fred Hill's mother or sister called and was going to do an interview with Chase about. They get pulled over because Jody Sue stops it, right? Yeah, we don't know that they were telling the truth. They could have been an estimated, Pam. We don't know that. And I don't know how old Fred's mom was, honestly, when she passed, but I think she was close to 70. And they were hindering something that was real and going on, and Candace may have actually been calling Mary for help. And Chris McDonough has her fucking recording it, and then they put it out. And the person beating Dawn up and the whole thing may have turned into a YouTube thing instead of getting answers for Summer. That's called interference. So I hope if Vicky and Bill had anything to do with Summer going missing and y'all were on your way there when answers come out for Summer, that you all get charged with interference.
qualify that again with Penny. I said, Blank is 10 minutes away. And that was at 2:06. And she says, about. He said it was worth getting out of bed for and been on the phone with the old lady neighbor the whole way. Told him, try to get a picture of the car at the house or them out on the road acting an ass. She said, Blank is drunk. I said, Blank is a classic untreated alcoholic. Textbook case. And then at 2:29, Penny messages me, says he's probably not getting service up there. I respond true. Because, you get it back in those hollers, you don't have any cell signal. So it would be hard for our source to be able to give us, anything coming back. At 3:45, Penny tells me that she's dropping her phone on her face and she's going to bed. And that's where we have it until I just woke up a little bit ago and saw Penny's messages and had her send me a link to jump on the stream here with you guys. And kind of guide this in a different direction without so much excitement, speculation. Even though that's so much fun. Libby, what do you think?
I would like to hear from the neighbor.
Right, yep.
I do know because I called myself to see if either Don or Candace was in custody in Hawkins County, and the answer was no for both.
That's correct. I can say that. That is factual there.
So, but I guess I don't understand where this whole Boston thing came from. Is that where he's being questioned?
No.
Do we know that? No? Okay. But he is being questioned.
Yes.
Okay.
By who? I don't know. But it's not a YouTube creator, I can guarantee you that.
Okay. I think
Penny, you there, hun?
the last message that Tiffany said, she said she was going to set up a stream because it wasn't working on here to do that with the phone call. So I think we're supposed to go over there, but let me see if she is on yet. All right, she's got it scheduled. Tiffany Marie has it scheduled. What is this?
Okay, guys, I'm here. I just set up a stream. I've got True on the phone. She's having trouble, and we're gonna do it on my channel because she's running this through Discord, and you're not gonna be able to hear the neighbor speaking through her through Discord to me. So she's gonna come on my panel. So I set up the stream for her. I sent her the link. It's all set and ready to go. She's gonna jump on my panel right now. So I can send you guys the link as well.
Yeah, I saw it. I just saw it come up.
I can actually stick the link right in the private chat for you guys. There you go.
I see some.
I feel so bad.
Okay.
She's having trouble with her internet. Here's the link. Libby saw, and here, hold on a second. Let me put that in. All right, and then you guys all come over. And then I think does everyone have my channel link? I'll put it in the chat for you. Hold on.
Yeah, definitely drop that in the chat, Tiffany.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there right
Mods, all my mods, grab a Tiffany Marie's link and drop that. Let's give it about 2 minutes, Tiffany, before we go over.
Okay, no problem.
That way everybody has a chance to grab yours, because I don't want anybody to miss out on this. Give them an opportunity to grab your channel link.
No problem.
I've got your let's see if I'm up on your StreamYard yet.
Let me actually grab the stream link for you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat, the link to my stream. Put it in the chat. Okay. There you go, guys. I just dropped it in there for you. I'm gonna go over to my channel. I just need to go grab my cell phone charger and I'll be good to go.
Okay, you go get ready and then we'll come over right here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm right over. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thanks.
How do I get out of here? Oh, leave. I see it. Okay.
Yeah, there's a leave button.
Are you sure you want to leave? Yes. All right, bye.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Someone
All
thought I
right,
was
Libby.
Uh-oh.
Back to what you were saying there, Libby. Wait on Tiffany Marie to get set up.
Somebody get that webcamschat.com hot girls out of here, please. That's gross. Y'all see that?
Did we have a spammer come in?
Mm-hmm. Chris M is saying it's false, saying what's false. And my chat is behind, so I can't help it.
Yeah, that's why I say we have to be real careful on this stuff. It's fun to get excited and everybody is just itching and wanting results and stuff, but we've got to go about this the right way. I'm not going to, I'm going to try my best to not backpedal on anything.
Right.
I want to make sure for my audience, our audience, true crime commentary audience, that I'm giving them what they've come to rely on since we started, and that's facts. And our audience over here, they understand that there's a certain time and a certain place to introduce information into this. And it's frustrating sometimes, but that's just the way that we have to do it. I've got, information that YouTube channels would go absolutely crazy with right now. And I've had for weeks, but it's just not the time nor the place to put it out. Some stuff is very sensitive. And, there's a 5-year-old baby girl. Think about that. A 5-year-old baby girl.
That's who we're all thinking about.
If nothing else, she deserves the highest amount of integrity for her. Look at what that little girl's done. I saw Jeannie was in here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What a hell of a woman. And these other friends or family members of Jeannie's that are, possibly coming out. Look at that. Jeannie on the second day, as soon as she found out about a niece that she did not know, had never met, called TBI and said, hey, listen to this. You need to know this. Look at Jeannie's family and the 5 other people that are close in Jeannie's circle that are going to come out. Look at the healing that family is going to experience. Not just the individuals, Jeannie and her 5 people, they're going to heal tremendously. I think that healing process has already started, but their families are going to heal from this.
Yes.
And it's all because of this 5-year-old baby girl that we're all talking about here. So the 30,000-foot view is Jeannie, her entire family, all the other survivors' families that are close in this. They all deserve respect. And there's been some other pivotal people and other people that have supported them along the way and got them headed in the right direction, so that we can have some people or a person pay for some horrible things that they did in the past. And all that's positive stuff. And we need to keep that support and that positivity going for those folks as well.
Are you ready to head over there?
Yeah, let's see. Tiffany got her stream up and everything?
Yeah, there's like at least 500 people over there already.
Oh, well, I'm not seeing that for whatever reason. But yeah, we can do that for sure. All right, everybody, it's showing we've got 1,004 people in here. Looks like Libby says Tiffany Marie has already got her chat set up. I'm still not seeing it on my end for whatever reason that Tiffany's live. Oh, okay, here we go. I see it here. Like she's waiting. Tiffany Marie's going to be on in 4 minutes and 32 seconds, so we can talk for a little bit more here while she's getting there ready.
All right.
That way we can make a smooth transition. Does anybody in the chat there have any questions for myself or Libby?
Well, people keep saying Web Sleuths has posted that Chris told her Don Wells has not been arrested, and we're no longer, I think, that did get misconstrued that he's been arrested, but he's being questioned, right?
Right. That's all that I've got right now. I don't have anything that he's been arrested by anybody. What I've got is he's being questioned. And I don't have who he's being questioned by. So I can't say whether he's being questioned by Hawkins County or Rosalie 9974. This is our channel here. True Crime Commentary is a joint venture between Penny and myself. Correct, damsel causing distress, arrested and detained are 2 different things. You're right. Depending on the charge, they can be held for 48 up to 72 hours without being charged and being questioned. And that's all depending on whether it's local, state, or federal offenses and what the offenses are.
And Candace is not being questioned. Is that correct? Or not known?
Not known.
Okay.
According to the message that was sent out, it says, so they may have taken her too.
Ah.
And Ronnie Lawson says that is not true.
Oh, okay.
Well, one part about him not being extradited is not true. So
she could possibly be being questioned?
it says they were extraditing him to Boston and that it was federal. Candace said the cops told her to get off the phone because they wanted to talk to her. She said she would call my aunt back. She never did. So my aunt called her about an hour later. Both their phones went straight to voicemail. So they may have taken her too. It was shortly after that YouTube video was posted with the messages about that $50,000 or whatever. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not.
Okay.
Ansley Daniels, thank you for reaching out. We have sent this inquiry to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, and he said it's not true. And then, like I said, I got the messages saying that WJHL is looking into it all, but I know he's being questioned, and that's all I can say right now because it's complicated. Okay, just heard from WJHL. He's not in Hawkins County, and I have Ansley's message. And Ansley's message was they sent that inquiry to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, and he said it's not true. And that's coming from Ansley Daniels. I'm sitting here looking at Ansley Daniels' WJHL header on her text.
Maybe I misunderstood what he said. Maybe Ansley said it wasn't true, but what's not true? The fact that he's being flown to, because WJHL wrote and reported to someone. I don't know who this was to. I would like to ask Scott some questions about this. This is what I mean. They took all their content away. What the fuck is there to hide? If anything you reported was true, why do you have to hide shit? Aw, thank you, question. Thank you, Pam. In my super chat I got earlier, I think it was Weave that sent it. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been amazing today. I know this has been boring because it's just a redo of all the shit we've heard, but it's been 5 years. This video is almost 5 years old. That's sad. And I look back at all the fuckery and the possible ways all these people could have inserted themselves in Summer's case and been a part of it. And you have to look at the locals because they're locals. They are Summer's immediate people. It's odd to me, the shit they did. Anyways, I'm just going to skip the end of this. It's only like 30 seconds long. Here's a video Libby did after she got into a fight with all of them when Penny went to Benny's. I don't quite understand what the fight was about or what had happened, but she was very pissed off. She took up for Penny's side or something, and then she held a wrench over in Benny's channel, but she also had a moment that I feel bad about, and I would pray, where she had a mental break. Duchess helped her through that. I liked Libby a whole lot at the beginning of this, but this area right here is where my mind started changing about her.
Hey, did you hear all about that shit that's going on YouTube? I mean, yeah, I heard, but like, I'm wearing my heart glasses, so I don't care. But girl, this is serious. There's a puppy involved. A little puppy. He's either 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks or I don't know, but there's a puppy involved, okay? A puppy? Oh no! But in other news, Penny and Benny are getting along great. But Seriously? What? But hold up, because Scott is not having it, okay? He is pissed. I'm done peopling. Can't we all just get along? Penny, do you think I'm a whore?
My sources say that Libby's a filthy one.
Well, if your source is fucking with my source, then I can't fuck with your source no more. Wait, do you... And then there's people faking their death. How about everybody just find you some business and mind it?
And then there's other people faking their death. Country Kitchen Lisa. Anybody remember her? She did that. Libby called it out. She was right to do that. I was still in agreement with that. Country Kitchen, then friend requested me with Julie Buford and Trixie and all this weird shit in Facebook. I found that odd. And I don't understand, though, the whole attacks. I didn't understand how that came about at that time. And I would like Libby to tell that story if she's still out here. Okay, so hold on, let me do this. This was going to be a 5-hour stream. However, I decided to make it a 3-hour stream and come back in a little bit with the other half of this. I have to fix my video because it wouldn't play at the beginning because I had too much in the memory on Canva is weird after 5 hours. And it was like 5 minutes more than 5 hours. So I think it's 2 more lives coming up that Penny and Scott or Tiffany, I don't fucking know, did that I'm going to share with you. And I will be back about 10 o'clock. I'd listen to Libby on Duchess after her mental break. Yeah, do you remember that question? It was sad, and Duchess was a really good friend to Libby during that time, but a whole lot of it didn't make sense to me with the other shit that was going on. I just think Libby was going through 2 different things, I hope, but she got very close to Chase after going to the vigil and meeting him. I don't think Libby had anything to do with anything, but I think that she may have been thrown in the middle of something. But I don't. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm one human. I can only watch so much, and thank God I saved things I never watched. Just because I wanted to watch them later. Truly why I started saving things. But anyways, I'm going to head off. I will be back. I say 9, 10 o'clock. I'm going to let my husband come home and have dinner. And then we'll go over the other 2. Hopefully I don't change my mind and find some other content. Right now, I think I just want to stick with this and finish it out today. And in another day, in a few weeks, I'll bring something else out. That's what I do. I wait. I don't want to bore you with all this really old shit. But I think with all the marathon money, reward money, and summer being missing, we don't know whether it connects or not. And all the games that were played. And I think it's important to go back every now and again and just listen to all the shit that happened at the beginning, especially with locals like Scott H. All right, guys. I'm going to head off. I'll see you later tonight, hopefully. If anything changes, I'll leave it in my community post. But as for right now, I'm aiming for somewhere between 9 and 11. We'll go there. All right, guys. Good night, or goodbye. I'll see you in a few hours. Bye.